spinning like a carousel light. I'm upside down, go round and round and round and round. You're lightning, baby, don't you let me down. If you love me good, good, good with the moon. When the sun comes up, then I'll love you too. I do, 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 do. Come on, get me in a mood, 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 mood. If you love me good, good, good with the moon. When the sun comes up, then I'll love you too. I do, 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 do. Come on, get me in a mood, 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 mood. I can't see clearly, no, it's really the way you wrap around me like I'm feeling oasis. Can't run away, it's the best kind of terrified. Forever up in my mind. I'm upside down, go round and round and round and round. You're lightning, baby, don't you let me down. If you love me good, good, good with the moon. When the sun comes up, then I'll love you too. I do, 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 do. Come on, get me in a mood, 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 mood. If you love me good, good, good with the moon. When the sun comes up, then I'll love you too. I do, 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 do. Come on, get me in a mood, 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 mood. Come on, get me in a mood, 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 mood.
They say that I'm such a weirdo. Tattoos from my toes to my earlobes. Was a role model, I never had a hero. I learned how to live through the stereo. Coming from where I come from, nothing inferior. Everything you see ain't what it appears though. Everything that I built, made that from zero, then added a zero. I am my hero. You couldn't imagine what it's like in my mind. It's beauty and catastrophe at the same time. Remember they laughed at me when it was game time. Now I know that they mad at me. I'm one you can't find. I'm not from the day. I come alive at night. I'm not what you used to. Couldn't recognize. They all on the ground while I'm taking flight. Yeah, you're welcome to join me. I promise I won't bite.
Things they say, they're never getting in my way. And even if I make mistakes, I will always see them through. 'Cause I don't wanna play your game. I had enough, I'm burning up so hot I just break your chain. You can never stop what's building up inside of me. Inside of me.
They call me a monster, I guess I don't fit in with the imposters. I'm taking the mask off, prepare your conscience, prepare for honest. Cut off all the nonsense, I'm all in your shot, girl, wonder who shot you. Go call the doctor, boom like the chopper. Don't you get chopped up, I'm here to stop you. Whoever wants smoke like a roster, break you off proper.
Things they say, they're never getting in my way. And even if I make mistakes, I will always see them through.
Where's that?
'Cause I don't wanna play your game. I had enough, I'm burning up so hot I just break your chain. You can never stop what's building up inside of me. Play your game. I had enough, I'm burning up so hot I just break your chain. You can never stop what's building up inside of me.
They say that I'm such a weirdo. Tattoos from my toes to my earlobe.
Can never stop what's building up inside of me.
They say that I'm such a weirdo. Tattoos from my toes to my earlobe.
Can never stop what's building up inside of me. Can never stop what's building up inside of me.
Said it's strange, yeah. You say nothing's changed, yeah. But I don't know who your heart's with. And now, girl, you're so much more I can take this. Got everybody in our business talking about it all. Oh, baby, when I hit you up, you don't wanna talk. You ain't pulling up, baby, like you used to. Fuck these other bitches, girl, I only want ya. But you always build me up to let me down. Fuck these other bitches, I only want you. So why you put me down, girl, the way you do? And no matter how bad you treat me, girl, I'll be there for you. So tell me why you always build me up to let me down. You build me up to let me down. Now you got me running round. You build me up to let me down. You build me up to let me down. You build me up to let me down. Now you got me running round. You build me up to let me down. Oh, you build me up to let me down. You build me up to let me down.
Yeah. Look, some people love me, and they don't even know I have a hard time loving myself. Some people judge me, and they don't even know I have a hard time judging myself. Life gets ugly, but I got a paintbrush and paint a pretty smile on myself. Mouth stay shut even when I need help. In too deep in the water, Mike Phelps. Swimming lessons, I still got many unanswered questions. Sick of the anger, sick of depression. Wanna be grateful, count your blessings. Just give me my salad, you keep the dressing. Cause I'm cream of the crop, he paid the price, I'm worth a lot. He told me go, why would I stop? Rest on my thoughts, jump off the tire, D'Lo Brown with the frog splash. Leaps of faith, what I call that. If you hit my line for the old me, when I hang up on you, don't call back. I ain't gon' block my blessings, I'd rather block your number. Life taught me so many lessons, Been down bad, never under. There's breath in my lungs. Some people die young, where I come from. Woke up and gave thanks to Father and Son. Filled with the Spirit, I shine like the sun. Ghost in me, but I ain't haunted. Bad vibes, keep them, don't want it. Pride hard to swallow, doggone it. And you were really never my opponent. I ain't fighting evil, man, they hearts black. They wanted my life, told them back. Got an itch for sin, can't scratch that. Keep the truth loaded in the black gap. Just know if I said it, I meant it, and they gon' take it back. Learn the game brighter than my granddaddy's Cadillac. Young man, old song, imagine that. Ain't in my control, gotta pray, let them handle that. God hit my line, gave me to play. Roger that, game time. I you hate like a running back. If you ain't catch everything I said, better run it back. Eating up this beat, break bread, where your sandwich at, y'all. Thought I was done? No, this beat ain't like Kobe, I'm too full. My God, took old mode, he too cold. I'm skating on beats, frozen with the flow.
Another episode of The Lobby and another team to talk to. This one being Apex. You guys know who they are. Take a look. Look around at them. Hey, yeah, we're all here. They said that they have a very important meeting within the next roughly couple of milliseconds. So we'll get down to business here right away. Tell me, right? You guys just changed coaches. What does that do to a team, man? How many teams you played on with different coaching changes and stuff like that?
I've played on quite a few teams and a lot of different coaches, but it brings definitely like different dynamics to the team, different preparation. They have different styles, different routines. It changes quite a lot actually. But at the same time, we're still sticking to our usual selves, and what works, we keep that. What didn't, we change that.
Yeah, what doesn't work? I mean, yeah, that's actually the most sound rationale I've heard here all morning. And I've only been here about 5 minutes, so that's not bad, really, all things considered. Yeah, so you guys bring Mither in, you come back to Malta. What are you expected to do in Malta this time? The weather's nice. We were just talking about that.
I think our main expectation would be to get out of the groups into the playoffs. And we understand it's going to be hard task given the teams in our group. But at the same time, we feel like it's doable. We've been having really productive boot camp for 1 week, good results, feeling confident, worked on a lot of things, get to know our new coach as well. And I think we're prepared to do some damage here.
Nice. So am I going to be the one to ask this? Because I saw a bunch of tweets. Seems like everybody was grateful for Cuban. They said goodbye to Cuban, and that's that. Do I remove my tattoo I have of Cuban?
No, like it's completely all right. And we came to a mutual agreement with the coach. It was just not clicking that much lately, and he's a great coach, first of all, but it's something different that we needed. And this difference was found in Apex Rebels coach, which is our academy team, and that's Mitter. And he worked with us to prepare us for the major as well in Paris, and we did really well there. So we decided to give it a try again, and here we are.
Here we are, and here we go. Check this out. Hey, Knock, let's see some of them tattoos. Which one's your favorite?
My favorite one is probably the Scorpion. I like Scorpions, pretty cool. I'm a Scorpio.
Oh,
Born in October, so
When's your birthday?
30th.
Mine's the 29th. We should have a dual party some year.
Yeah, we should. Let's do it. And then I have like a panther, pretty cool. Wow. Then I got a face with a skull. Then I got another face.
Are those 6s or 9s? Just so they are 9s.
Yeah, I'm not a satanic devil maker.
Strange. Oh, I mean, cool, but I get it now. I'm just trying to look.
I did this when I was a bit wasted, maybe. But
Did you do it yourself?
no.
What would you say your inspiration is for the majority of your tattoos, or who rather?
No one. Like, I don't know. I just I've been looking for, like, this was the closest tattoo artist that was pretty good, I think. And I was like, I just want some tattoos. I've always wanted, so I just went with them.
They look pretty good. I'm sure we can get some nice footage of them and then go about our way. But for you, you said the weather was nice, right?
Yeah, it is. Actually, we are coming here from Oslo. We had a bootcamp for 1 week, so the weather there was not very good, let's say. So I'm pretty happy that here it's fine.
It's expensive up there in Oslo too, right?
It's expensive, it's cold, so I wouldn't recommend going there.
It's just not something we're trying to do. It is that simple. So have you scouted out anything you want to do on the island? If you get some free time, is there anything you want to do around here other than maybe go hang out by the water?
Maybe swim in the sea.
Okay, yeah.
That's one of the things. Yeah.
And
Not sure about anything else.
we know about some places you can go jumping off into the sea, off some rocks. So we'll have to let you guys know. Yeah. So what else are you going to do today?
After media, we have lunch, we have some practices, and we're slowly getting ready to play. Tomorrow is the first game, so that's it for today.
And that's it. That's all we got for Apex. Watch out. Man's got a gun. A blaster, I should say. Yeah, it should work now. Go for it.
Should work. Oh, did you? No, I hit green. I think. No?
Oh, no. I thought you hit the ping pong ball. Oh. Yo, Zach. What's going on, man?
You're right, man. Feeling pretty late. EPL, living the life, seeing my boys, crashing your boys.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree. It's probably happening, honestly. I'm just glad they're good sports. They wanted to play. That's pretty dope. Pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. But I'm not sure if they're winning though. They haven't played CS2 since it hasn't been released. So
Really?
yeah,
So they just thought, hey, I'm just going to sit down with these old guys and show them what's good.
yeah. But I think Henry G is taking very seriously. He just took the fighter position. I saw him going.
Saw him sit up in his chair, get ready, do some hand stretches.
Yeah.
So what are you expecting in Malta this time around? What are you thinking?
Well, the last time we were here, we were very close to go through the group stage. We lost 3 games, but they were very close games. I think we're more prepared now. We have been practicing for a month, different from the last tournament we played in Cologne. So I think we had more time, and I expect us to go through the group stage.
To find a little easier this time.
Yeah.
And people are dangerous around here. You see these people, these blasters just shooting each other all the time. Why are they like this?
I need to live with this every day, man. Thank God they don't have a gun in the practice room. Look at this guy.
Let's check the aim out. I don't think no, you got to do it. There, no, there wasn't one more. You were out. Now you can light them up. Yep.
Ooh, close. Close.
Just everybody trying to be kids. They're just trying to be kids. Shout out White Balance one time. Hey, Bolts, what do you think about this game, man? It's called Counter-Strike 2. You ever heard of it?
Yeah, it's good. I played before on the beta, and I'm still playing a little bit on streaming, and it's good. Henry is destroying my guys here.
He's scary. Like
Fire, man.
he's a scary gentleman in the server sometimes. For you, what's the scariest part about CS2? Maybe you like or you don't like?
I don't like the optimization. Like it's too laggy. You know, like the FPS is not good enough yet. So I hope they fix it. But the balance is hitting. You know, like I don't know how to explain, but it's good. It's good.
So when they said things like MR12, you know, when they said, "Hey, we're gonna go to MR12," how was that for you? What do you think about that?
I don't know yet. We need to see how it's gonna work on matches, like with the economics too. Like if they're gonna change a little bit of economics. So I don't have too much opinion on that yet.
We have to wait and see, right?
Yeah, we need to see if they're gonna change like the economy first and how it's gonna be on the matches.
Well, look, man, you've been playing Counter Strike a long time. You've had a lot of different teammates. How are you doing? How is Bolts? How come they never ask? Rather, how is Bolts? Not where is Bolts?
I don't know. It's a different time. Like we've been like the best in the world in the past, like playing very good teams, and now we are trying to grind again with like trying to make playoffs in the big events and a different team, right, on the career. But like happy to be here and happy to start playing CS2 and start a new thing again.
Is it an exciting time to go into CS2? Like, you think it brings everybody back? You know, I don't think we have the same thing where it was like people wanted to play 1.6 or Source. You know, I think we have now CS2 coming. It's got to be an exciting time to be in Counter-Strike.
Yeah, on the past you have like a lot of split, like people with different opinions, and now everyone's going to play CS2, and I think it's gonna be a good time for all love CS. So yeah, good to be part of this.
Keeping it real with Bolts. This has been episode 1.
All right, well, I'm going to come chat with a couple of the boys from M80. What's going on, everyone? Mads and Wolfie? Manx. Mads, Manx, same thing. Well, how's it going? Welcome to Malta.
Thank you. It's going well. It's going well. We like it here so far. Things are chill.
Yeah, you good?
Yeah, we good.
What's it new org entering Counter-Strike? What's it kind of been like kind of getting this team off the ground? I imagine it's a different vibe than just kind of stepping into an already established team, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of different because a lot of the players are familiar with each other. Like I've played with Manx before in Europe. I've also played with some of the NA guys like Rec and Michael Swisher. Yeah. So I haven't actually played. I've only not played with Mario, and it's even though it's like a new org and everything, the team is still familiar with each other, and things have gone really well, honestly.
You guys are practicing in Europe, right? You guys are staying in Europe from what I saw.
Yeah, we have been a lot in. Like it's still like new, and we have been a lot in NA and a lot in Europe. We have practiced most in NA, honestly, and me and him across the sea. Actually,
yeah. At the start, me and him played from because I live in Sweden and he lives in Denmark, so we were playing from on the NA time zone from Europe. So it was really rough at the start, but then we went to the States and we played there. And then now we were here for like 10 days before in England, 10 days before for boot camp. So, but it's been great.
That's got to be weird, like not just the time zone, which obviously sucks, but just even the ping too. Like hard to practice when you have that kind of hard to know like what you're doing wrong, what works.
It was rough, but we made the best of it. That's all we could do.
So the biggest thing you guys have been a part of is kind of you're playing through all the qualifiers in North America, the Challenger League. Obviously lost out on the Sydney qualifier, but like how have things overall been going and progressing within the team despite, you know, a tough loss in the qualifier?
I mean, I think it's gone really well, honestly. Like we have a great organization behind us. Like we have a really good coach. He's not here right now, but yeah, like the guys, yeah, no, but like the people behind the team like are really good, and we've been working a lot, and it's been going honestly really well. Like we're just so new, we just need the time basically, and yeah, we have a lot of, like he likes to say, we have a lot of shooters on the team. So with time and more practice, I think we'll be good.
So you guys have Americans, Danes, and a South American. He's where's he from? Guatemala. Okay, that's a lot of different Counter-Strike philosophies. And as the Dane, do you feel like you get a little bit more input? Danish Counter-Strike being a beast.
Yeah, definitely. Like I'm still trying to mix everything because I feel like that's the most important thing as a team, that you kind of like find everyone's part of the team. But definitely trying to implement my philosophies and my way of seeing things and doing things, and then kind of trying to mold it all into like our team. So that's kind of the
What's the experience been like here? Like, I don't, you guys, how much experience as a team, like across the team, is there with like these kind of top tier one competitions of coming and setting up the big production values? Is this a newer experience for the guys on the squad, or is this kind of, you guys are used to this at this point?
Oh, it's funny because it's a bit different. Like I think for me personally, like this is like my first LAN in a long time, because like I think when I was playing the most was during like the COVID era, I guess, where you wouldn't say like it was everything was online. But some of the North American guys, and he has also been to a lot of ESL lands. So I think pretty much people all around are like pretty used to it. I would say maybe I'm the one with like the least like LAN experience, because when I was playing the most, like my peak, I don't know, like it was during like the online era kind of. So
Just out of curiosity, how did you come to end up living in Sweden?
So it's funny. Everyone asks me this, but and I've said it multiple times, but it's like, yeah, this is the official one. Okay, so my parents are both Swedish, but they moved to the States. I'm born there in Florida. Shout out to the Florida boys, Florida man.
You don't want to do that.
And then my parents split, and my mom decided to move back to Sweden, and then she took me and my brother, my twin brother, back to Sweden, and then I lived there ever since. Kind of, mostly honestly because of like CS and stuff in school. Like I just got kind of like, how would you say, used to it and stuff. I always missed the States though, but yeah, I just
You can't beat the food in the States. Can you speak Swedish? Okay. Well, I don't know. I've had friends go to Sweden and try and learn Swedish, and Swedes speak English.
It's like funny because now that I've been in the States, like my Swedish is, I feel like a little weird. I feel like weird talking it because I've been speaking so much English now. But jag kan shouta till alla svenska fans. Hoppas ni stöttar oss, även om det är bara jag som är svensk. Men yeah.
Nice. Cool. All right. Well, thanks, boys. I'll let you guys chill. Good luck in the tournament. What's been going on? You've been, man, you've been in like ATK, XATK, Orglis, Bad News Bears. Now you're finally like with an actual organization. Does that feel a little different?
Oh, it feels wonderful.
Yeah.
Like the org backing, the support that M80 has been giving us is something that I've never had before.
Yeah.
And something I've always strived for, and it's been absolutely wonderful.
Cool, man. It's like a whole like save the Northing project. It feels like.
Kind of, yeah. I think like the pieces that we were able to put together is kind of like every top piece in the scene just about. So it's been like super, super exciting for like all the fans.
Yeah. It's a weird mix of players that you guys have. Like Wolfie's American living in Sweden. You got a Dane, you got a Guatemalan, you've got like a little bit of everything. Is it kind of fun like getting all these styles mixed together?
It definitely is fun. I mean, I've played with a few European players before with on ATK with S18 and Bodemaster. So I kind of understand a little bit of the scene. I've played with the Brazilian roster as well, so I kind of understand a little bit of the South American scene. So I'm able to kind of adapt, and I've learned all these different like play styles and such.
Sure.
But yeah, it's definitely fun. I think like the biggest thing is like that we all just love each other.
Yeah, that's good. Is this like? I said this whole thing is like a redemption of the NA scene. I've seen some of the interviews from the ownership and from management, from Def and everything, and it is kind of like we want to revitalize that NA scene. Does it feel like you guys are on the path to like? Is there a reason why the NA fans and the NA scene should like be really rooting for M80?
There definitely is a reason. Because like M80 has put like their actual foot forward and wanting to better the scene. We saw that kind of EG do something previous with like all the academy rosters, but that was met with a lot of backlash because it didn't make sense. It really didn't make sense.
We don't need to go back into that world.
But I'd say like the M80 is like the first bigger org even stepping into NA, because like people thought TSM might even step in NA, and everyone's just going European talent wise.
Yep.
And M80 is like that first team actually making the step.
Well, you've spent a lot of time obviously in kind of like the dredges of North American Counter-Strike and like the tier 2 scene, the tier 3 scene. So does it feel like there's potential there? Like the entire argument is, you know, no one else is focusing on this pipeline of North American talent, so you guys kind of get to capitalize on that. Is that, I mean, from someone who comes from that part of North American scene, is there a lot of untapped talent in the lower levels?
It definitely is. Like there's like a few hidden gems, I would say.
Okay.
The struggle that a lot of North American players have is that there's like really no teachers. There's not very many IGLs and teachers in that sense to kind of teach players, like the talent, like how to play properly.
Sure.
So you just see like a lot of kind of like pug stars that don't know how to play team CS. So like when they go into a team, they instantly drop off heavy because they don't realize like the amount of more teamwork that like is actually incorporated and for you to actually be the best.
Yeah, our pros don't stick around, do they? They go to Valorant, they go be streamers, they go be whatever influencers. They don't stick around at Counter-Strike the way the Europeans do.
Yeah, for sure. Because I think like 4 or 5 of like the experienced players like Shinobi, Vanity, MCE, all those players left it on.
Yeah, it's tough. Makes sense in the scene. Cool. Well, what should we expect from you guys? I know lost the Sydney qualifier final to Complexity, which was a little bit of a bummer, surely, but here coming into Pro League, chance to cause some waves.
Definitely. I think our biggest thing that we came from a 3-week boot camp in the UK. We were definitely strengthening our map pool because like that was something in our match against Complexity. We didn't have a strong map pool at all because we'd only been practicing for 3 weeks. So we've been strengthening our map pool and kind of building upon that. And we're just super excited.
All right, what's the sleeper map pick?
Sleeper map pick? When's this being posted?
I don't know. That's a really good question. I actually have no idea. All right, we'll hold off on that one. I'll come back to you later in the event for that one. Good luck this week, man.
Thank you.
Hold up. Triple shot of espresso. Did I hear that right? Hey, man. I like that pass. That was good, Chad. That was really well played. Who's getting a triple shot of an espresso around here? Really? Does it give you like heart palpitations or does it feel normal now?
That's normal.
It's just normal. That's wild, man. You living on the edge over there. I ain't gonna lie to you. What do you think about this, Sasha? What'd you learn?
Nothing actually. It's not enough info, to be honest.
Yes, he's right.
There should be water. In our team, there's water under bridge, and this one is pool, for example.
Yeah. What up now, Chad?
Woo! So Sasha, this is exactly what we need during the show. We need help from people who say there's not enough info. This is shit. This should have a name. This should have a name. That's what I need. Can you help me during the show when we're doing this stuff?
Yes, of course. Yeah. What the fuck is this, man? Just remove it as fast as possible if you want.
Get that out of there, Trace.
Got it, man. Fuck that. Yeah, I know what's going on around here. Sasha, we can get away from this stuff, man. You guys done setting up or what?
Yeah, very fast. Yeah. So,
What'd you do? What'd you do last night?
I was spending time with you on 19th floor. You forgot, actually.
Oh yeah. No, I mean honestly, I ate so much.
I'm surprised that you're looking so fresh, man. Keep it up.
It's called a shower. It goes a long way. That guy.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Asus Republic of Gamers, DHL, the United States Air Force, 1xBet, Monster Energy, and Gaming Malta.
Oh no, Val, they've done it! Absolutely rocked! Full-time steal!
Yeah, it's time for Group C once again. We return on the B stream for one game of the day. The players are live from Malta. We are live from the internet satellite uplink. Bardolph and Hawker are back for a best of 3 today. 9Z versus Imperial. Here's what we have for you. Plenty of action. How have you been, Hawkman, since yesterday? We had a long day, plenty of overtimes yesterday. Have you recovered? I should punch the desk. My webcam's going everywhere.
Yeah, I'm good. Just about recovered. You know, been chilling today. Ready for this game, honestly, because we've get to see even more Imperial today. So who knows? This day could be just as long, this series.
Yeah, I am interested to see what we're going to find between these two teams. I do think it's going to be a slow-paced game. Let's have a look at the bracket, though. Let's start wide and have a look at the status quo across Group C, top to bottom, straight up and down. We see that Na'Vi have qualified as expected, a 2-0 over Apex, a comfortable 16-5, 16-7 sends Na'Vi forward into the playoffs. FaZe Clan and Fnatic is yet to reach a conclusion. That's going to be a hell of a game, though, especially the way Fnatic were playing yesterday. Lots of exciting stuff. In the mid-bracket, though, what's it looking like, Hawker?
We've got 9Z versus Imperial coming up, and we've already had Cyclone take down M18. They were the lowest ranked team here in this group, but the Chinese, the Asian squad have come through with a good win. got a couple of other nationalities mixed in there as well. But I'm glad to see Cyclone doing well. They came into last Pro League and looked promising as well. So definitely a good bit of talent on that roster. I think raw skill-wise, they've got what it takes. Unfortunately, M80, the one team waiting in that lower bracket, see who they're going to face and if they can get at least one win on the board in the future.
Yeah, lots of, well, hopefully they can get a few more matches in at the very least, because that's all very valuable information for them. We saw the interview before we got started today about there not being much in the name of guidance in North America at the moment, so perhaps they'll have to be their own guides. And the more matches they can get, the better. The A stream is quite busy today, as you can see. They are 2/3 of the way through. FaZe versus Fnatic is about to begin. That's going to be a banger for sure. So you've got Stream A or you've got Stream B, depending on what takes your fancy. And over here we're going to have Imperial versus 9Z. Oh god. You know when the first week we went live, I immediately almost broke my USB cable that my headset's connected to, and the whole thing just fell off onto the floor, but everything's fine for the time being. I must warn you, there may be some a little coughing from me today. My asthma is slightly out of control because I didn't realize that all my asthma supplies had gone down to zero. They were non-functional, so I had to go to the pharmacy and get a re-up of my my asthma inhalers. So that's me. But it's mostly there. It's mostly there. It's, you know, maybe the odd gasp here or there, but I should be okay, which is important. I have got a lot of shotgun action coming up the next 2 days. Tomorrow I have there's this the shooting stuff I do, right? It's called IPSC shooting, dynamic shooting, and I have to do a safety course to get a license to do international events and national level events. And instead of a pass, I got a referral because I crouched with my finger in the trigger guard after 9-hour course. So I feel like I got trolled a little bit, but tomorrow I've got to go to Basildon, do 2 hours of coaching to not move with my finger in the trigger guard, and then I can get my level 3 competition license. Then on Saturday I have a club level shotgun tournament, which is going to have at least 150 targets in. That's going to be awesome. I've got one of the best shooters in Europe in my squad. The guy who taught me how to quad load with both my hands. So that's going to be a spectacle, at least to watch and learn from.
Are we getting more videos? That's the question. I like the videos last time. I love the pace when you were like moving between targets. I was like, damn, James can move.
Yeah. There's 12 stages on Saturday's shotgun tournament. So there's going to be plenty of videos. The longest one has got 28 targets in it. So my belt carrying all my shells is going to get very much used up, which is going to be awesome. So I'm super excited for that. I just hope my asthma holds up for it. I'm sure I'll be fine. Anyway, let's get into this match then. 9Z versus Imperial. I'll do my best to call them 9Z. Obviously, we are the Z men over here as far as the English language is concerned, but 9Z is the international language way. But anyway, 9Z versus Imperial. We saw plenty of Imperial yesterday, and I feel like they definitely had chances to win versus Fnatic.
Yeah, absolutely. They played a really close series against Fnatic there, showed us that they will be capable in this group, I think it's fair to say. And I was really happy to see someone like Phelps back to his best, honestly. He'd been having a tough time on this roster. He had some really big, impactful moments yesterday. Henny is always just so fun to watch. I feel like he's always been a fan favorite. And in general, this team's got a good bit of experience on it, as well as one or two of the newer players in the scene. I mean, really, it's only Jota who I would say is one of the newer players, actually. And they've also obviously got Vinny, who's got a good bit of experience now as the in-game leader. So looking good. They look structured. I think they look well put together. It was just unfortunate that towards the end here, this game got very chaotic, very tense. They weren't able to take it over the line, but I think I probably would have them as slight favorites coming into this matchup.
Yeah, it really was a narrow loss yesterday. Let's not forget, like in the post-match interview we had with Mezzi, talking about how many big rounds we saw from Afro and so on. Like, if he didn't get all those clutches, then who knows, like, if it's going to be Fnatic sitting here instead of Imperial. But it shook down the way it shook down, and it is indeed this team instead. Going up against 9Z, it's a collection of the other parts of South America, if you will. Chile, Uruguay, and Argentina on the server for 9Z. A good team. Honestly, I do think this is going to be quite an interesting match. I think we're in for some long, drawn-out rounds between these two squads. Tell us a bit more about these guys.
Yeah, they played against FaZe in their opening game, and, well, they did lose 2-0, but the first map, at least, they brought very close. Second map, not quite as close. I think they've got a pretty good star trio. DGT, I always feel like has got a lot about him on a rifle. I think he's probably the best aimer on this squad. And then Try on the AWP has been an up-and-comer for a while. Looks like he's definitely someone to watch, alongside David, who has really found his footing on this roster. I wasn't sure about David when he first joined. He's definitely put it together as this roster has gone on, and they now have a little bit of experience, 9Z. They've played at a few of these international tournaments. It's not going to be as scary for them coming to a pro league, and obviously this is a regional matchup, so they've definitely played against Imperial before. Earlier this year, we saw this matchup go down with slightly different rosters, so this is a game where you would expect them to be much more comfortable than they were up against FaZe.
Yeah. So you called Imperial as a slight favorite. For me, I'm kind of leaning towards 9Z for this one. I don't really know why, but I just think you know, they haven't played each other too many times in the past. 2 wins for Imperial, 1 win for 9Z. I'm hesitating between Z and Z, and maybe I'll say both. We'll just have to accept it. But that is matches in that 2-1 series in Blast some months ago. Let's have a look at the vetoes then and see where we will be playing. Anubis comes out once again. We get to see more Imperial on Anubis. That's certainly good. Nuke, Anubis, and Mirage. I don't know if this is a dream or a nightmare for Imperial. They've gone for the Nuke pick. So, you know, they want to play some Nuke, and I think that's great if they can deliver the goods on it.
Yeah, interesting. I'm always, there's almost part of me that feels like those picks are the wrong way around, because like Imperial were great on Anubis yesterday, so I'm not entirely sure, but we will wait and see on that one. Either way, listen, they didn't pick it against Fnatic upon it, so if that is the way around the veto is, definitely good for Imperial. I think overall, okay, they are the wrong way around. That makes more sense to me. That makes more sense, because 90 also pretty good on Nuke. Either way, I think there's a decent chance we do go to that third map, actually, here. I think both of those are not only good picks for the teams that have gone for them, but maybe not a great strength, I think, for Imperial on the Nuke. And then 9Z, not sure how they'll do on Anubis, and Imperial looked really good on that yesterday.
So the picks are the wrong way around, but the map's the right way around? We're going Nuke first?
I think we should be.
Okay, we're going for Nuke first. All right, cool, awesome. Yeah, that was quite an interesting one, but I'm looking forward to seeing more Imperial on Nuke, to be honest. I am interested. It's like almost like a Petri dish experiment as far as I am concerned. Well then, not much in between these two teams in terms of ranks. Let's see whose day it's going to be, Imperial or 9Z. Nuke is where we begin. T-side is where 9Z will begin. I do wonder if Train is being redeveloped or reskinned or something in the background. It must be, surely. I feel like Imperial would love to play a Train. I think they would like to have that in their map pool. Who knows what the future holds anyway. 9Z heading towards the ramp. 2 pairs of Julies out for the CT side. Oh, Henny takes one in the face immediately. This is awkward. This is not the beginning of the pistol round they were looking for. 9Z are being very careful indeed. Vinny's in a forward position, from what I can see on the X-ray. However, it's not going to help them as far as B is concerned.
Pretty slow response down to this B site. They're finally rotating down vents now, which does give them fast access to try and deny. Instead, they're playing a bit far back. Smoke down in the face of bolts. So not going to be easy to deny this bomb plant. Meanwhile, Vinny has come through on that flank. The aggression pays off. Now they've cleared out ramp. That might allow them to cut down on the positions they need to clear as they go for this retake.
Managed to keep 4 players alive for the time being. Bolt creeping through. Still not going to be easy one, but the frags are coming in. They don't have a kit, but as long as they get the kills fast enough. 2v2. What is happening? Oh, I'm so confused right now.
I think that door wasn't actually open. I think it can't have been.
What is going on? Like, Henny, every camera is Henny, and they're looking at each other through a door which is closed but appears to be open. Like, this is like commentary maximum difficulty.
Yeah.
Like, what's happening? Man, how bizarre! I've never seen that before.
No. Okay, okay. Maybe it's because they were spamming it like back and forth. Maybe that got the got the server confused.
I've seen
Who knows?
many strange things. I've seen GoTV bugs. Oh, sure, I'll get to it in a second, actually. Let's have a look and see what happens here. 9Z forcing their way through to the A bomb site quickly, but nothing to show for it other than positioning. They've lost 2 players with no response thus far, and it's getting worse for them. This is so fast. 1v3 for try. What a disaster. Lightning fast disaster for 9Z. Supposed to dance though. To get his reload in. Minute 10 on the clock for try. Both got rifles though, Imperial. One is a scout, but still. This is a solvable problem. But a very big problem indeed it is. Did Henny see him, I wonder? Don't want to kill too much of your own time. But he does want to use enough time to threaten coming from a different position. Waiting for the CTs to get curious now, and Joseph's doing exactly that. That's allowed him to get into an even stronger position. And now Henny doesn't even need to peek from Palace. 30 seconds on the clock. How does he clear CT vent as he exposes himself to the rest of the bomb site? This is a very difficult quest, and it's not going to go in his favor. Well then, a fast blast into the A bomb site ends in disaster for 9Z.
Yeah, that was a quick round attempted. Always scary for opponents forcing. See just the utility maybe making it a little awkward. Try attempting to manufacture something at the end here, but left in a too tricky position. And so now it's Imperial who have got a good chance to get off to a great start.
Yeah, that was very different indeed. I was going to say I've seen GoTV bugs where one of the CTs had a T costume on and vice versa, and had to commentate a few rounds like that, but that was a new one. Not as bad as it used to be though, GoTV. Still have floaty stickers sometimes. Kind of neglected by Valve. I do wonder what one in CS2 will be like. Still got people running without their legs moving. In that respect, it's nice to see that Counter-Strike is still Counter-Strike. And it's cool that if you did the glitch in CSGO to put a name tag on the C4, they actually gave a slot for it in your inventory so you can equip it in CS2. Which is
Ah, very cool. Very nice. Good to see constant updates as well. CS2 is getting. I think now that it is, in more open beta, it's definitely good to be constantly adjusting things. I'm glad that that's happening. We're also just not used to it with CSGO, but yeah, for a new game, definitely need it. Well then, 9Z with very little to work with in this round. So that strong start that they were potentially going to get on their T side of their map pick has quickly crumbled for them. Gotta needs to be just a little careful. The only way you can lose this round really is by giving away a gun. And that incendiary has not gone according to plan. Straight into the smoke. This should be good range with the AK against very limited weapons of 9Z.
Bolt could be the risk taker. He will see that there's a lot of people heading towards the ramp. Dobbs is here for the cleanup. He needs to get out there, hide around the corner. That's the big gun taken away. Not checking the right corner though. Now it could get quite costly. Trice has the bomb and he has a minute on the clock. to go to A or to go to B. He's got a fair chance at a 1v1. He goes all the way outside. That will kill a lot of his time. See, Henny's being proactive about this because this has become awkward for the squad of Imperial. 30 seconds remain. So much opportunity lost. Holding for too long on this occasion. That was a scary situation for Imperial, but Henny is never one to shy away from taking the brave decision. 3-1 Imperial. Time for the full buy for 9Z.
Yeah, in those sorts of rounds, you saw he almost is actually just baiting his teammate to an extent because you have such little weaponry that if the CT overlooks the fact that you're in that corner because he thinks you'd be helping your teammate, he can actually get you an AK, maybe a bit of extra damage. It's not always a bad idea. Now in this one, early fight goes the way of Bolts. He's getting pretty aggressive around this squeaky position, really exerting some pressure there. Could make 9Z a little nervy about this play. They had some players on the roof setting up nades. Well, they've lost a player early. Utility is up from Imperial. It's not going to be easy for them to pounce on this A site now.
One minute on the clock. Surplus grenades left on the roof for try. Looks to be a late one for 9Z. The time they're looking for here on the clock. 40 seconds maybe. Oh, Phelps just about didn't see one of those T's, I think. They found perfect timing to swing towards the garage at the very least, or towards Secret rather. 30 seconds on the clock, racing now towards B, and it'll be easy for Jota. Quick bursts. Trying to offer something towards the A site with utility. But racing down towards B wasn't the one on this occasion. Easily dealt with by Imperial. Not much of a challenge on this one after getting that initial kill in for Imperial. Be quite happy with this.
Yeah, and maybe on reflection, I would say that Imperial have got a pretty damn good chance on Anubis, but this nuke map, I know it's not great statistically for Imperial, but they just look so good against Fnatic. It was a really close map there. Phelps was looking solid on yard. Henny with the AWP was doing good work. So even though it is a strength for 9Z, even though they played FaZe incredibly close on this map, they took FaZe to 30 rounds yesterday. It's a 16-14 loss in the end. This first map does have some potential for Imperial. They've got off to a really good start here. See in this round, everyone on 9Z on the same page with economy. Try, of course, that AK into this round, but the rest of them stuck on weaker weapons here. A lot of nades, though. Might see in a nade stack.
A lot of HE grenades indeed. 9Z really needs to do some damage in this round. Again, if it's going to have to be one of those halves where they have to constantly chip away at the CT economy until they break them and start to catch up, then that'll certainly be a focus for this round. They're well equipped for it as well to do some damage anyway. 3 players of Kevlar for the T squad. Jiggling from the pistoling players. Max is he's so tucked into his monitor. In they go then. Pistolers will be the information men. EGT able to escape. Now they can try and create some space for this AK-47 eventually. The bomb's being shown at the hut. 1 kill so far, not too shabby, with 3 still standing for 9Z. They'll want at least 1 more, surely.
Still sticking around, but wins the fight. Phelps with a solid cleanup at the end there. Nice start from Phelps. He's been looking pretty solid on yard. And also really good to see Bolts off to a great start in this game and on this map specifically, because against Fnatic, Bolts had a pretty tough time on Nuke. Ended 16 for 31 in that game that went to double overtime. So seeing him off to a great start, I'm sure is filling the Imperial guys with confidence. Got the gun round out now for 9Z, but they've really got to get going here on the T side of Nuke. 5-1 down. Ooh, big damage onto Phelps. He's a little lucky to get away with that.
Fair few Molotovs for 9Z. Oh.
Team killed. No.
Oh dear. Oh, that's awkward. That's very awkward indeed. Especially because no one's there.
Yeah, spamming smokes with no one there. Oh no.
That's really rough. Big execute coming through. We saw those mollies earlier on. That will compromise the positions. Not finding the kills on the A bomb site either. This is the kind of round that 9Z needed. Keep the CT spending. Winning around will help as well, obviously. Still early in this game of Nuke. Imperial won't want many rounds like this. Unforced errors outside. Compounded by problems inside. Everybody on the board now for 9Z. I think DGT was the last one to get a kill. Perhaps in the last round. So the next round might be a little nervous for Imperial, because if they take too many losses, they could be broken. What on earth happened with that team kill?
Yeah, it's a weird one because it's not like there was loads of chaos going down or there was like a T on screen that he maybe was trying to shoot. It must have literally been he was trying to spam the smoke and maybe Phelps did some weird movement.
Oh, he's just jiggling all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even blame him for that one, Henny.
Wow, Henny switches straight to the AWP after the rifle betrayed him in the previous round. Actually going to play that towards ramp at the start of this one. While 9Z look like they might be focused on this A side. Smoke down, Max will try and move forward. Duda who's out first, but that's the bomb drop. They have to commit to this now. DGT with a snappy shot onto the second. The commitment still isn't here, and this is awkward for 9Z.
Very awkward indeed. 3-on-3, that bomb is also exposed. DTs are expectant. Phelps has got a very good angle as well. Nice follow up with the incendiary. And he's trying David to do a lot. Still in it though. 2-on-2. Rex will continue. And he's got to be careful about where he chooses to peek here. Holding down 2 jobs as we can see. That scope will probably be heard. Phelps now isolated from Henny, and that bomb can maybe be rescued. Was he heard dropping though? Looks like he was. 47 seconds left. Starting to pop in now. Henny focused on that left-hand side and Phelps said to save him, but he can't. He will trade at the very least. Dancing, jiggling on try. He's got 39 seconds. Doesn't have to plant the bomb just yet. Weapon at the same time. Has delivered the goods. That reload allows Phelps out. Now Try's lost his angles. Seems he might know where Phelps could be. Oh, has he seen his head? Looks like he has. Try dancing, just about escaping. 23 HP. Oh, he's surely fully committed now. A free fire from Try and Phelps. What an awkward fight for both. But it will be a round for Imperial.
I've been thoroughly impressed by Phelps on Imperial so far. His rating in the last 3 months coming into this event, it was definitely below 1. It was not great. But he just looked so composed there in the clutch scenario. A great start from Bolts. DGT brought it back slightly. Then Phelps repositions, trades his teammate wisely. I loved the initial jiggle peek just to get info, wait for Try to plant the bomb. You see the patience there. He knows that Try has to move off the bomb site. Eventually figures it all out. Okay, Phelps, I was just bigging you up. That flash is not the one. But it's all good at the start of this round. It's Bolts again fighting. Will fall in the flames, though.
And he hasn't even started working yet. And the score is fairly good for Imperial. But again, they are on the edge now as far as their money is concerned. Still time for 9Z to break them. Early 4-on-4 is favourable for the T side. As the smoke goes, Phelps doesn't click his left-hand side. And then there were 3. This really creates problems for Imperial. Don't have enough people left to really cover all the choke points. But he's in a good spot though. Will he be checked for? Oh, he almost found both. So close. I wondered if he would have held onto the trigger there just for a second before firing. 2-on-3 though. Fry waits for Jota. Rare miss from him. That was a chance to close out the round. The bomb spotted in the lobby and Buddha's been dropped. Awkward again.
Oh, nice from Imperial. Henny is the man with the AWP there instead of the rifle that was just there before. They get baited into it. Drop should be heard. Jota heard that player running down, so he can follow. He can stalk his prey, and Henny can arrive ahead of time, but Try still hits the shot. He's going to look for that bomb plant, but Jota is closing the distance, and Try has no idea where he's coming from. Easy cleanup from Jota. Another round for Imperial, but it got close at the end there.
Yeah, they keep passing the test though. They keep building, but they keep surviving also with only one player alive. And 9Z keep planting the bomb, which means they can keep buying. So it's like a reset of the round prior and the round before that. But still, Imperial are collecting the rounds. That's all that matters at the end. Great effort by Try. Great flank by Jota, not giving the sound cues, just giving the information to his team. Delivering the goods. 5 AKs on deck for 9Z. How deep does Try go? There's the incendiary for the hut, looking for a push. Not getting too crazy though. DGT on the other hand makes his way into the A-bomb site. That's a very early 5-on-4 for 9Z once again. 1 minute 30 on the clock now. Max is already in a good position, so Imperial could be in some trouble this time.
Glad to see DGT trying to force some fights a little more, because he hasn't been too involved so far, but we've seen his aim can be very good. Now Max in position. Phelps not 100% ready for him. Imperial were able to bring it back from a man disadvantage in the previous round. This one looks even harder though. 3v5 to come back from. Can they find any way back into this round?
And he's still standing, which means there is a way. But 9Z have got time pressure. They will invite themselves into that A-bomb site, perhaps with good timing. Will Vinny be checked for with the right timing? They're lining up for him, but he doesn't get any frags from that. That's surely a save now for Imperial. The round 9Z were looking for to some degree. The money's broken for Imperial, but they still have some very big weapons on the server. If those are standing at the end of the round, then who knows what is to come next time. No, Henny's going to get more aggressive.
Oh, there we go. Important round here for 9Z. Not lose too many players at the end, but at the same time, know that Imperial's economy has been limited by some of the recent rounds being so close. To see Buddha just double checking the bomb just in case. 9Z get their third round on the board, and for Imperial it is going to be that poor economic position that they have to deal with. Good start to the round though from 9Z, just getting DGT out through Squeaky. That's normally the one position on the map that you can find a fair 1v1 fight. You can try and work it solo if you want to. Exactly what DGT did. Once they got it into the 5v3, they didn't look back. So the full spy is in for Imperial, but this is 9Z's chance to try and break that CT economy fully.
Oh, surely
the
not
timing!
two. Unreal from Bolts. Looking to punish the reload and getting way more than he expected. Again, the timing is perfect in more than one way for Imperial. This is a round where they really need to survive in the numbers and build that cash up once again. there are plenty of rounds to fight for. They could finish with 11 or 12 in this half. They could really have a rout if they can just keep on the correct side of that W and the L column. That is a fantastic way to do it. Bonus money with the MP9 as well. How do you even respond to this if you're the last two for 9Z? What else is there to be done at this point?
Bolts is just being a real nuisance around that squeaky position. A couple of rounds where he's gone fully aggressive, a couple of rounds where he's just stopped the early 9Z pressure and movement in that position. Feels like he's been a very pivotal player in either Imperial's round wins or occasionally their round losses. 16 and 8. We still have a few rounds and a half left to play. Fantastic work here from Bolts. MP9 aggressive, doesn't mind this close range fight. Oh, Buddha prefers it though. AK delivers a headshot. Won't lead to anything though. 9CR just trying to create some space for them to save their two AKs. At least they have money, but that round really just comes around to Bolts. Just good timing. It was such a high risk play as well, but sometimes when you play with confidence like that, you find the timing window. That's all you need.
That's so brutal, especially for the guy in the back. You're just not expecting that. What timing to do it as well. Really crushing for 9C. It's got to be so frustrating. There's nothing you could do when Bolts just drops with an MP9 and does that. Just got to hold your hands up, take a deep breath and move on. 8-3. 9C have to feel like this score could be so different, especially when you have things like that happening. But ultimately, it isn't. 5-round lead for the C2 side, who keep on winning, whether one man is standing or more at the end of the round.
This could end up being a fantastic CT side for Imperial. They keep this up. Really seen that massive pressure from 9Z towards Yard. You have an AWP in this round. Might look more in towards this position. Try and see if they can draw some rotations. See Imperial using a good bit of utility, trying to spam these smokes. He's able to get across safely. Just with a bit of damage taken. Something Imperial have to be aware about. Saw their Jota already down on B ahead of time. Actually rotated 2 CTs down to B here. So maybe they've left some other areas of the map vulnerable. Including Yard right now, and David is going to make the most of that. He's going to start moving on up in behind. Yeah, these A players have got to get aggressive. They've got to be scared of that Heaven Wrap right now.
Doesn't look like it's too much of a consideration, although we see Phelps is on the way now. So perhaps they are starting to wonder, and you can see their forward positions as well. Indeed, concern is a little rife for Imperial at present. How awkward is this? He's going to hold these positions. He spotted the bomb Bolts. That is the bomb on the radar. They make their way into the site, and now it's a role reversal. How bizarre is this? Bolts is afraid of every angle, and that bomb's been lost on the bomb site. There's a look from DGT, but really, who's in control of this round right now? It has to be Imperial. Look at the health remaining on these players. This is crazy.
What a wild round. I mean, the comms from Imperial were clearly good enough there because those A players realized we can't just sit on the site and let ourselves get flanked. We have to go ahead and go aggressive into Hut. That worked out okay for them. And then it looked like Phelps maybe just flanked up the ladder. I think that must have been how he dropped that bomb towards the site there because he was playing towards ramp. It was a big risk there going up the ladder. He didn't know if there was a player just waiting for him. Yeah, he did exactly that. They just weren't ready for it. Denies the bomb. Then he comes back. Big damage onto the other players means it's another round from Imperial. They are really starting to run away with this now.
Oh!
Okay.
Adios, amigo. Nice entry from 9Z. And he's never shy to announce the position of the AWP. The pot shot through. He'll still keep them entertained and drop try, make it a 4-on-4. It gives them an idea of what is or could be compromised on the map. Silent now as 9Z regroup together. Max in secret, the rest towards A. Oh my god. Wasn't expecting bolts though. If there was to be a wrap towards the B bomb site, I think that's been cancelled now. And he's in a nasty position. Only needs one glance from the opponent to drop them. Trying to buy time for his squad now, wrapping around, but DGT will finally finish him off. 2-on-2 as 9Z plant the bomb. Joseph coming in from the back. DGT looking. Joseph's got the angle, but DGT's got the headshot. That leaves bolts in the clutch now, down to 15 HP. Swinging with the flashbang. Surely Buddha's position is too strong here. How does he clear this corner? He doesn't. Fourth round for 9Z. They've finally caused... Actually, there is a buy to be had here for Imperial. 2 players have got crappy money, but the rest have enough, and you know they're going to buy. So I stopped myself and I said they finally, because I know they haven't. There will be more guns coming their way.
A good group up there from 9Z, though. Faking out that B-sided play, drawing bolts down the vents, away from Squeaky. And then Henny just didn't have any rifle support. Very hard there for the AWP, even though he landed a couple of good shots in that round. To be honest, Henny has been very quiet so far on this CT side. That was a round where he finally got a couple of frags on the board. But unfortunately, can't lead to the round win. It's well worked from 9Z. They were pretty patient at just making him as uncomfortable as possible on the bomb site. Forced him out into the open, caught him from the other side. Then great shots from DGT, making sure that flank can't come in from Jota. Chance for 9Z to salvage this half. Pretty big round here for them. Got a good chance at 6T rounds if they can win this one. Imperial would have a bad buy into the last round, but look at Henny, so aggressive. Doesn't get the kill, but big damage with that shot landing on David.
Gave him a spanking with that AWP. Being looked for though, Max is on the roof and will deliver the goods. Revenge enough for 9Z. Last 2 rounds of the first half then. Potential for 6, especially if they can finish off the rest of Imperial in this round. Vinny, not shy to hunt for something. Imperial don't want to sit on the 4v5 if they can help it. Only so far they can go in terms of aggression though. It's good for a little duel. Little peek. Dependable pair of hands. Patience is paying off for 9Z, catching Imperial, desperately trying to get back into this round.
That bomb should have safe passage down to B. And I think at this point, Imperial, once they realize that bomb has gone down lower, will look to try and save what they can. Even that isn't for certain. Max has just spotted Jota. So if 9Z wanted to, they could maybe hang around. See if there are exit frags to be had. Very methodical there, 9Z. Clearing everything out on B, just making sure they don't get caught with their pants down. Will be Imperial trying to save. Again, Henny having a surprisingly quiet half here. Normally you'd expect him to be racking up frags, getting impact rounds on CT side. Just wasn't ready for that player who'd already dropped down from silo onto the top of main. That made it impossible for him to fall back. Once they lose a further player, the round goes wrong for Imperial. 9Z give themselves a chance to get 6T rounds, which I think would be just enough for them.
Been really hard to claim these rounds in this half of 9Z. As you mentioned, they may still finish with a reasonable score. Let's see what Imperial can muster around what they were able to save the FAMAS will be out double MP9s. We know how dangerous they can be. Still fondly remember the shotgun plays from JW back in the day on Nuke. Iconic times. SMG's here though. More dynamic. INC looking to burst onto the A bomb site from what we can see. DGT's been lost early. That M4A4 will be very important if they get a chance, but Vinny won't. Denied by Buddha. Again, good on the entries. But Phelps will collect 2 with the French gun. Looking for a third now in. Max is in the smoke. And won't last long at all. Double figures for Imperial at halftime. 10 on the CT side. But we know 9Z are coming from them after this break.
When I get advances, this increases chances. My life is like a prom, but there ain't no dances. I'm standing in this hall getting funny glances. I was raised as a youth, but was missing parents. I was raised by my granny, shit, I miss my granny. Hardly raised by my daddy, but I miss my daddy. Wasn't raised by my mother, but I miss my mother. I ain't get to know my mother, but I actually loved her. Strange. I made the studio my home. Every time I touch a microphone, I'm at home. Every time I hear a metrodome, I get in the zone. Every time I get into the zone, I'm usually all alone. Home, it's where the heart is, pop. It's where our art is, usually goes the heart is, pop. It's where our art is, showing them that you are hip-hop. Long as you finish, doesn't matter where you started. Home.
Second half is upon us. What do we expect from 9Z now that they made it through that T side? I think they maybe survived that T side to some degree. Again, they came close to breaking Imperial, but never quite broke them. I think we could have had a very different score if they could have made it all the way, but perhaps they did enough anyway. 5 rounds moving into the CT side. Definitely don't want to start with a 12-5 or 13-5 scoreline should Imperial win this pistol. So there may be some pressure on 9Z to deliver here on the CT side.
Let's see if they can manage it. I've got one of those dualies in play on David. They aren't even in towards ramp though, a common position for the dualies. So that means that Try is going to do his best. But this looks tough for him. He's bought time for a rotate. Shots are just not landing right now. It's Phelps to find 2 openers in this round for Imperial. Now 9Z have got so much work to do, and they just cannot connect these shots right now.
So fast from Imperial. 9Z, minimal time to respond.
A with the bomb. Brutal. They are back-to-back right now. Yeah, back-to-back. Okay. Finally, Max turns around. I don't think you can go up those vents, buddy.
I get nervous when Imperial are a 5vx on T-side nuke and just slow things down. Let's not forget what happened versus Fnatic. Very crazy scenes. I don't expect that to happen today, though. But it's still in the backs of my mind. Max and DGT be hopeful to hold on to their Kevlar. This pistol is certainly lost. I do wonder what they will choose to do. Are they going to go for a force buy or not? Because, again, I mean, regardless of what they choose to do, this is going to be a very oppressive scoreline.
I will say, in the first half, 9Z won the T-side pistol, and then they got reset straight away and lost 5 in a row. So they know the pain of winning the pistol and then instantly getting broken back. And so they will indeed try to do the same to Imperial. They will try to break them with the force buy. A couple of rifles, a couple of FAMASs in there with the pistols. Meanwhile, Imperial have pretty good nades and full rifles on their side. See how that works out for them. It's going aggressive early, but this FAMAS could be in trouble. The molly's forced him back. Quite spotted him yet. He's still searching. He still wants this fight. He'll find it. Good work there from Max. Damage onto Henny as well. Gotta be careful though. That jump back means Phelps can see him. So 1-for-1 trade early on the yard play.
He did far too much there in a good way for his team. He made this really awkward for Imperial. 3.5 men. I'm sure it's a film or something, but it's the reality for Imperial at the moment. And he carrying the bomb as well. Have to watch out for that. He can't fight. He can't take a duel with someone. 1 bullet and he is donezo. Phelps hopping up towards heaven. Is this being considered by 9Z at present? I'm not sure if anyone's really looking in this direction, but as time moves further on, they may give it a consideration. Heading towards that 40-second mark, and Imperial haven't breached the ramp. Oh boy, that was a nervous one. Creeping towards that A bomb site now as Buddha has pushed forward. Be there. Will anyone be there to contest it, I wonder? Time to get that bomb planted. But he's got a good angle lining up for him. Trades will be here though. It's still a 2-on-2. Try can make his way up the vent. There might be a rifle for him. The bomb's been planted again. Henny's still got 24 HP on the site. 9Z, don't want to take too long. DGT's got a HE grenade as well, but can he find an angle to throw it? Surely not from Hut. Try just creeping forward. There's the HE grenade. There goes Henny, and Phelps has to play the bomb now. The only way DGT wins is if Phelps peeks and dies. Slowly falls back. It's an expensive round for Imperial, but it is 12. Kind of par for the course on Nuke. Heavy losses, but still success.
Oh, Phelps lands that final shot as well. Very close from 9Z, but Phelps again, ever reliable so far at this Pro League for Imperial. As you said, Max did really good work initially in the round. Aggression denied, even though Buddha gets in behind. Causes a bit of chaos. Imperial's still able to get that bomb down. Once that happens, the ball was in their court. Now Imperial know this round should be a little easier, so they've actually gone for 3 MAC-10s and maybe a fast play.
Good enough work by Vinny. Got to communicate the positions though. Yeah, this is the horror movie for 9Z at this point. Massive pressure for them to deliver on their first buy round. and onwards. I think after the game Imperial had yesterday, I can't see them making too many mistakes, taking their foot off the gas too much with the lead they have. That's awkward. Definitely don't want to swing there if you're Henny. 13-5 then. That's how the half is going to start when the buyer comes in for 9Z. So they better get their skates on. This is time for them to show us why they picked this map.
Yeah, they've got a lot to do here. This is got to be a real grind to come back into this one. It's got to start with breaking that T economy, getting some early gun rounds on the board. See what 90 you have to show us. The CT side, no AWP for them. So these Yard smokes could be good. That nade is nice. Max has been trying to fight Yard aggressively. Looks like Imperial are aware of that fact. Oh, and Henny spots try over the top of the smokes. Advantage for Imperial, Yard control taken. C9Z are having to respond, but feels like they're on the back foot right now.
It's a lot of success for Imperial with 1:20 on the clock. Map control, man advantage. Gives them the time to hang the CTs out to dry. They will surely know they are being waited on. Imperial looking for them to make a mistake, peek in the wrong place, try to rotate and get caught out. Beautiful from Max. This is going to slow things down for Imperial as well. If they want to deal with Max's position, bearing in mind the time on the clock, that's going to be quite the problem for them. Phelps looking to be playmaker. Does he go into the vents though? David's hiding in plain sight. 20 seconds for this bomb to get planted, and things become quite urgent now. Phelps' patience, will it pay off? Oh, David's got such a good angle, but Phelps will save. Phelps is so important for Imperial. It is unbelievable. Between yesterday and today, how important his frags have been. And there's another one.
Oh man, Phelps is killing it right now. Bolt started this game so strong, and Phelps has just managed to overtake him. I'm so happy to see this from Phelps. He's in a bit of a slump recently in the last month or two, heading into this event. But he has really picked it up, showing why Imperial have decided to bring him into this lineup. Previously playing on Fluxo, he was doing good work regionally. Really glad to see Phelps back to his best. We know the flair he's capable of, and we're seeing it on the server right now. That was that initial shot from Henny. Try maybe not aware that you can see just over the top of that smoke. Again, a couple of final kills. Well taken. Imperial looking lights out right now. This is 90's pick, and it looks like it might not even be close.
Oh, the auto's out.
Love that.
Love an auto. With a pistol grip, no less. Don't love that. No love for DGT as far as Bolts is concerned. That's been a really good angle for these Ts as well to see over that smoke. Catch CTs on that rotation. What a rough situation for 9Z. The motor never really getting started on Nuke. Heading towards a trash compactor at the moment.
Phelps is going to let Max by. Oh, did he see him? I'm not sure. He is
Radar.
communicating. See on the player cams. So maybe he was calling that there were players down to B, and he'll call for them to come to A. They'll even get the entry. Phelps doing everything to let his team into this A site. guarantee a 15th round.
Yeah, this is, I mean, credit to Imperial. 9Z haven't really been able to get anything going in either half for the most part. Always close, but never quite there. Heading towards game point. Not much to show for this game of Nuke. Now, we did see a crazy game yesterday with Imperial losing their pick, then winning Fanatics. Doesn't feel like they've turned up just yet. David's got 5 kills.
It's tough. He's meant to be one of the star players on this team. Oh, how does that not kill Phelps? Is he on 1 health? I mean, that's just the sort of game he's having. Can't kill him right now. Bolt's also having a good game. End up flying under the radar a little bit with how Phelps has showed up in this second half. I was expecting, you know, Imperial to look good here, but I wasn't expecting it to be so one-sided. Really impressive showing here from Imperial. One more round needed to close it. See Phelps play such important positions on the team as well, playing towards Yard in a lot of rounds. This time he's got players to assist him. Max was hanging around, but decides to back up just as Phelps was running towards him. Phelps is going to risk going through the smoke. Max isn't even watching. Phelps doesn't realize Max is behind him, and that allows Max to get the double.
Such an important second kill. Slipping way behind the smokes, 9Z hanging on for now. Bolt's urgently looking for him. Max is winning in this one alone. So many angles to check though. And down he goes, shot in the back by Henny. Hasn't seen the bomb, I don't believe. 1 minute on the clock, 2v3. This is where things get super weird in the best way. Walking will kill a lot of time for Imperial. DGT on the flank. If he chooses to push through T-spawn, though, he's going to be out of commission for a little while, bearing in mind the time on the clock. So he's trying to get a few extra steps in, take the risk. Here, this info for his squad. Might never quite catch up, though, but he is off to the races. 20 seconds. There's the door. That's the information 9Z were looking for. That flank will come in very quickly, but that means Henny's in the clutch. That's what we want to see. Where does he go now? Focused on Decon. Ramp is a problem as well. CT's taking control of control. There's DGT. That's 1/3 of the information for Henny. They're swinging together, though. Can he avoid being traded? The Tech-9 is out. So close, but not quite. Round number 6 is in the bag for 9Z. Much work to be done.
Good effort from Henny there. Realized that he needed to switch to the Tech-9 when those 2 players were running him down. Movement was on point to try and actually have a chance to isolate those further fights. Really nice round from Max, though. Seen him be active towards Yard. This time he waits for Phelps to make the first move. Punishes those 2 players taking a risk through the smoke. You see Henny, he really tried to use the cover to his advantage. Had to go to the Tech-9. Allowed the riflers to get him out of there. See how much more fight 9Z have in them then.
For Imperial to make their play. Quite a few Molotovs in the hands of this T-side. The flashes begin. It's going to be a fair few chain flashes, but Buddha will defend. He's containing as well. Beautiful work from DGT, drilling them one by one. Then he comes in to get traded. Just the 1 frag for Imperial. And 9Z reached the halfway mark.
Yeah, nice to see again one of those rounds from DGT where he shows how good his aim can be. Buddha awkwardly having to drop down with the flames, but did so well. Just great crosshair placement from DGT. Once you get the first kill cleanly, it really helps. The other players you know are going to be running into your crosshair at headshot height. Try came in with the final kill. He's starting to get going with that AWP. Smokes down early though. Imperial wasting no time on the cross. That nade does decent damage. Phelps already here, but Max here to deny it. Big fight to win there from Max, who has been solid on this CT side in the recent rounds. Put that smoke down and slow Imperial from moving any further.
Getting that last one over the line can be quite the mission sometimes. Start to wonder if this is going to be one of those times. Might not be too late for David to come to life in this second half. So Henny and Vinny down towards Secret. Bolts will offer some utility outside. Still 5 standing for 9Z. They are moving around somewhat. Heading towards 30 seconds now. Jota is alone up top. Does he try and pull rotation? Try and stop the rotation. Well, that's the bomb creeping into Max's position. And now the urgency is very high indeed. Volleys towards the vent. Jota's luck fails. Straight into try Zorp goes Vinny. 4 on 1, 4 on none. 8 rounds. They passed that halfway mark. 1 foot over the line. The run continues. How close have Imperial even been to winning one of these rounds since they got to 15?
Yeah, that is true. And see winning some consistent rounds and some convincing rounds now. Still that feeling that maybe it's come too late. But you never know.
Language. Look at Phelps, man. That's really bad body language.
Let's get those heads back in the game if you're an Imperial player or coach right now. Want to make sure don't let this slip.
Yeah, and that's not
Phelps has been so important.
Yeah, and that's not calling Phelps out, but that's just an indication as to the vibe in the team right now. So this is really bad. But it's good to recognize that while you have the time to do that. You have 7 rounds to find 1 round.
Plenty of opportunities. Try playing a little bit of a dangerous game. You will be okay. It's that Tech 9 at range, but Vinny really trying to close the distance. Still not great range for the Tech 9, but he will start to move on in. There's a good rotate from DGT, though. It's left ramp open, so Imperial finding some gaps now. I don't know if they're going to be able to use them to actually get frags, though, sadly. It looks like 9Z have done a pretty solid job at handling these positions. Oh. It still feels like there's chances, though. It still feels like 9Z aren't fully aware of some of these spots. I think they are now aware they've left ramp open, though. They've rotated 2 down to B. So Imperial not having that same chance to get a drop on one of the opponents, it is going to be very hard for them now.
Hello, Bomb. 20 seconds, and they have to die. What Phelps chooses to do. He is a little bit tight here. In the red. That might be enough. Can get any more frags out of it. Just the 1. Suddenly, 9Z have caught up pretty reasonably on the cusp of 10 rounds now. Sort of frustration from Imperial, not only at the lack of closing this one out so far, but the lack of even being close to securing that final round. I feel like that has not really been a thing. They'll take a timeout, refocus. We saw this from Fnatic as well on Nuke at 14-14, if I remember correctly. And they just went for a basic execute into the A-bomb site, waited out the utility from the CTs, dumped the util, dumped the mollies, and abused the numbers game. Just the very basics, the core basics of the T side to secure a round. Maybe we'll see something similar from Imperial since they were the victims of that play.
Saw Phelps doing a fair bit of talking there. Maybe wants to get himself involved. I think in the previous round, he was in a decent position. If they had maybe 20 more seconds for him to arrive on that flank, could have got something going. That just arrived with too little time left. Let's see what the call is then. Phelps, so often this player towards Yard. Got try aggressive on the AWP. May look to deny some of these early plays. He's taking a damage. There is a player up top as well. This looks very awkward for Phelps now. He's got to be ready for these players. He's somehow still alive, but Try won't let him get out alive. Good shot with the AWP. Now Imperial fighting from a man disadvantage.
No lurker, no threat, no controller secret. Makes things very difficult for Imperial. They have enough can openers to turn things around though. When does a simple execute into the A-bomb site come? I think it was quite an inspired play that we saw from Fnatic yesterday. Imperial might be in need of something similar. These failures are starting to rack up now. Max jiggling. He's got good shadow advantage here. Basically a free kill onto Benny. The rest are nice and easy for him. And again, it's another round where Imperial are not making practically any inroads towards winning a round. They're not really a threat in these rounds. These kills are cosmetic. Does not particularly matter. They had a lurker outside. He died. Walked into a strong angle and got deleted by the man they call Max. Give me a basic execute into the A-bomb site. That's what I'd like to see. Although, we'll have to wait because they're not going to have the money. I'm not planting the bomb either. Plant the bomb, you'll be able to buy every round at a minimum if you get that far. But it does feel very far away at the moment.
Yeah, they must just feel like they're running into brick walls in some of these rounds when they're just rounding the corners, already a man down, and they're getting mowed down with those quick headshots. Similar round earlier towards ramp. They need to put some pressure elsewhere earlier in these rounds, and losing those early fights is really costing them right now. See if the pistols can allow them to loosen up. They do have an AK. Jota spent a lot of money on that. Oh, Vinny might be going down to that nade. Good work from Try. They'll get back to safety. DGT will come to assist. So again, the opening move from Imperial gets them nothing.
What is the play? Fish for a pick. AK will have to be passed over to somebody with more than 3 HP. There's the molly. Counter flashes from the CTs. Imperial stuck in the mud at present, making next to no progress. But the creep from Cubs could be everything. Gives them some extra angles now. Bolts delivers. There'll be a team kill involved, but that doesn't really matter. 18 seconds. They continue to creep forward. It's long, it's drawn out. It's another round for 9Z. The deficit is now just 4. How many rounds has this been for 9Z?
That's a good question. I think it's got to be at least 5, maybe 6. think it is 6 in a row now. Good to see David making a most of his positioning as well. I think that's normally his biggest strength, catching players in the back, sometimes playing those lurky roles. He's been a bit quiet so far, so nice to see him stepping up. Now Imperial going for something fast here. Plenty of players grouped towards Yard. Will be slowed by this utility, but Max is aggressive again. How much longer can he make this risk, though? He does decide to drop back.
Sneaky. Very quickly down to Secret. There you go. A minute 12. This is better timing for Imperial. A fourth man will join them as tries on that rotation. Gets popped. This might be the round for Imperial. Much faster. No loss early. But Max has got something to say about this one. Jota popped off. DGT trying to find his angles. It will swing through the smoke. This could finally be the end of the line for 9Z. This is the one that's needed. Box avoids the flashbang. Avoids shooting Henny as well. David doesn't know, but there's a trade. Max now in a 1v3. Vinny will finish off the job. Imperial will finally take it over the line. They gave themselves enough chances from that half-time score. Managed to conclude Nuke in the best way.
I can't miss no Beverly, you can't hold me. Knew that it was my time and I ain't need a roll. P139, that's the word. This provision, this precision, you ain't gotta see the worth. Every situation different. Trust if you're feeling out of luck or if you stuck, homie, you just can't miss this. It's so easy, you be thinking it's absurd. Gotta see the glory in the hurt, see the glory in the hurt.
Know the game, no guesses. Know they won't forget us. Form a roll like dominoes, they wanna get that precious. Follow me now, cause I know where to go. All the phones they lit up, look at how they glitter. In a VIP, you know with me it's always better. Follow me now if you just join the show. Don't need a miracle to change your whole life. I ain't no mystery, sophisticated type. I'm just doing things the way that I like. Ooh, I just do my own thing. Ooh, I just do my own thing. I don't care what they think. All the way, no pressure. No, my taste is special. When the light goes, let the night go, light the highs forever. Follow me, cause I know where we're going. Bag your phone, no pictures. Won't forget, won't miss it. On the door, say you know me like Sesame, they'll let you ride in. You can skip all the rules. Don't need a miracle to change your whole life. I ain't no mystery, sophisticated type. I'm just doing things the way that I like. Ooh, I just do my own thing. Ooh, I just do my own thing. I don't care what they think. We don't need no education. We already know how to make it. We
Well then, I suppose the question, or one of the questions coming out of that is, what do we make of Imperial? Came close and could have won the series versus Fnatic yesterday. Have a good showing on Nuke and yes, the last round, the very last round took a little while to get there, but they got there. 9Z on the other hand, that was their pick of Nuke and they weren't really anywhere to be seen.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. And listen, there was the comeback, but man, the start for Imperial was crazy. I mean, I was looking at the numbers. Bolt's got 10 opening kills. I think a lot of those were on CT's side, just fighting around door. He kept denying things early. I mean, for 10 of your 26 kills to be opening kills is wild. In a game where there was only 27 rounds, that is so impressive. And obviously, Phelps had so many moments throughout both halves. I think he was the most consistent player for Imperial. Really, yeah, just that slow start from 9Z, unfortunately costing them here. Feels like they just didn't quite get enough T rounds on the board. Maybe one or two more, and boom, they could have had a real good chance with that streak they put together in the second half. But it was Imperial able to just about close it out in the end.
Yeah, there were a number of rounds where 9Z got Imperial down to that last man, but that last man for Imperial won the round more than one, maybe even 3 times. This was quite key as well from Bolts. That 2K with the MP9 dropping down, perfect timing. A lot of things going the way of Imperial. Credit to them as well for surviving those tests time and again, which is what you want to see from Imperial, because I think some of these Brazilian lineups have been somewhat underwhelming or disappointing in terms of like the name value. You've got the likes of Henny, Phelps and so on, but Imperial certainly delivered on the first map of this series. I think to some degree they delivered yesterday as well. I think they'll be very gutted they didn't win that one, but they certainly have plenty of chances now.
Yeah, definitely looking good for the Imperial side, got to be said. For 9Z, listen, it was good that they got a few rounds at the end there. Some of the individuals starting to show up slowly but surely. So hopefully they can use that going forward. I think Max was looking very active and was really denying them and being annoying just around that yard position. So that was a good sign. EGT had a few moments where he showed his aim, but all in all, maybe not quite enough from the individuals of 9Z. Hoping for a little more in this second map, but you've got to say it's looking pretty good for Imperial after that one.
Let's have a look at our aim high head-to-head and see the scores on the doors in that first map of the series. Who have we got? Bolts versus Max. 27 AK, 47 kills for Bolts. He was pretty stellar on Nuke.
Yeah. I don't know if those numbers are quite right. I'm not going to lie, because that seems crazy. But yeah, listen, Bolts was great. And he was doing a lot of work around Squeaky, honestly. Really killing it. And then, listen, Max around yard was doing what he could. I think he won a lot of those CT rounds for them, doing a lot of damage. He had 1 or 2 rounds where he got them into an early advantage. But all in all, I think it's fair to say that Imperial just had, I mean, both Bolts and Phelps had massive games, and no one on 9Z could really stack up to either of those two guys.
Anubis then, our second map of the series. It's one where we went into yesterday with basically no information on Imperial, and they're fighters. They can play. They came to play on Anubis yesterday, and they certainly will today. So how bad a situation do you think we might be in here for 9Z?
I think it's not great for them. Listen, I know they had that small comeback at the end there, but Imperial looked really good. And once they finally went for that together play on yard, it worked out. So tough for 9Z here, I think.
Anubis is just around the corner. Quick break when we're back at 2 of this series.
Wear your passion. Share your passion. Wherever, whenever. Gaming is a lifestyle. Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
It's time for the DHL Drop. Every week, CSGO talent go head-to-head to beat the buzzer. You can join them by typing !DHL Drop in the chat. Answer the questions correctly to get added to the global leaderboard. The higher you climb, the closer to earning a prize you are.
You owe everyone a favor. Watch the population rise. And if you want them to like you more, that only costs you who you are. Keep away from the ground. Live in the clouds. To the ones who like us. Raise I've been thinking lately about the writing on the wall. How I died for your approval. Like this for far too long. It's like a nightmare. Doing what you want, just like a nightmare. It's such a nightmare. Trying to keep everyone happy, just a nightmare. Keep away from the ground. Live in the clouds. To the ones who like us. Raise Have you ever felt this free? Like I am you and you are me. It's such a nightmare. Trying to keep everyone happy, just a nightmare. Keep away from the ground. Live in the clouds. To the ones who like us. Raise It's like a It's like It's a beautiful day at the beach. I was losing my mind for about a week until I could call you up. I'll meet you at the waterline. Birds are flying up above. We both need a little love. Hiding a million different things. Waiting for the nighttime to see what it brings. And I'm still living deep in my head. And sometimes I feel my heart is dead. Maybe tonight, baby, could I love instead? Yeah, I'm still living deep in my head. And sometimes I feel my heart is dead. Maybe tonight, baby, could I love instead? Yes, I know we're not the same. I'm so tired of playing games. You don't have to be so hard.
Welcome back. Just want to make sure everybody's awake and alert for our second game of the day because Anubis is nice and bright, so you want to have your pupils dilated for this one. I don't know what pupil dilated means, but I'm hoping it is correct. Anyway, what do you reckon? 9Z. I feel like we're still in the dark on this one. Again, we've seen a little of Imperial on Anubis yesterday, but who knows what this particular style will be like. This combo, the combination of these two squads on Anubis. What is your expectation, Hawker?
I do believe in Imperial after seeing them yesterday, but you know, it's a map that 9Z play. They have a couple of wins on Anubis. Yeah, I really liked what we saw from Imperial yesterday on Anubis. Saying earlier that Henny can do really good work, battle warping, close quarters. Definitely delivered yesterday on this map, and so did Phelps. Phelps ended up getting a 30 bomb against Fnatic in regulation to help Imperial win this map. So we're already seeing Phelps play incredibly well in that first map. He can continue that. That could be what gives Imperial the victory here over 9Z. But let's see if 9Z can put up an even better fight on this one. It is going to be Anubis underway. And it's 9Z starting on that CT side with full Kevlar in this one. While Imperial just have one P250 and a couple of pieces of utility. Very Kevlar focused here for both teams.
Two-man on road for 9Z, pushing through the B-bomb site, allowing, enabling, encouraging rotation towards A. Try will fall back though. Doubts perhaps. Press X. Buddha continues his flank. Imperial safety in numbers. Bolts with the first victim. There goes the bomb as well. David was looking good, but now he's taken one in the face. Still standing. 5-on-3 retake looking likely as the bomb is planted by Imperial. Work to be done then by 9Z. Somehow David's still alive. There's a big swing on his position, but he's still dodging all these bullets. There goes Phelps, Jota, and Vinny, and the round will be 9Zs. Buddha and Try will get cheap helmets. Maybe David as well, if his Kevlar hasn't been touched.
Very nice from DGT. Coming in with a Glock for those final couple of kills. But for Imperial, a little frustrating. You buy a single smoke, and it just has a massive gap in it. So your split is spotted ahead of time. It gives David an early warning when the players are going to be coming his way exactly. This cleanup from DGT. Lovely work with the Glock at the end there. Cleans up all the final kills. And wow, okay, with the round win. Quick tactical timeout from 9Z. They've gone straight for the AWP here in the hands of Tribe. That's wild. I assume DGT had to drop that with all the kills he got in the pistol. But that is something Imperial are unlikely to be expecting in a second round.
But look at the buy overall, man. Who won the round? Look at all these Galils. The armor penetration.
The nades are awful for Imperial, though.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess 9Z's kind of suck too, though, actually.
Yeah, I'm still coming to terms with these second rounds when they're like this. It's pretty crazy looking. And who knows, especially with MR12 on the way, maybe it'll only get worse.
5 out as well for Imperial. Interesting. Hands of Jota. Here is Try. Oh, he misses his chance. He's actually gone down.
He's given Henny the AWP if he wants it, and he does want it. Of course he does. 2v2 very quickly indeed. Lightning fast round on Anubis, and 9Z could get reset. The big grey button on the Super Nintendo. Imperial's finger is hovering over it. Henny then 1 versus 2 with the AWP. I don't expect him to miss, although now the smoke has been deployed. Does he go for the round, or does he save the AWP? Oh, he's halfway there. Does he pursue Max? Needs to get the reload in. That defuse is on the way as well. And second defuse, and he's found him. Man like Henny through the smoke.
Oh, Henny's going to be loving life after this round. Big high five. He's just got a free AWP, and he's able to spray both of them through. There's an M4 at his feet. I thought he was screwed as soon as he had to try and fire through with the AWP. But man, that is a disaster for 9Z. That's basically the worst thing you can do. You buy the AWP, you don't get a kill with it. You give it over to Henny, picks up this rifle, realizes, okay, I'm not getting fought. I haven't heard another tap. He's got to be sticking the bomb. The spray through pays off. And now, there's that AWP from Try, punishing himself with it. Oh dear.
Regret. Press 1 for regret. The big whiff. I think he's... Oh, man. I think he got domed by Henny in the last round as well. Disaster strikes very early for 9Z. horrible way to start the CT side. Actually, the worst way to start it. But maybe there's something to be said in this third round. Only 2 plays remaining though, so that'll be a lot harder now. Bomb being collected by Henny. Imperial gravitating towards these players. Oh, Buddha looks away for a moment. That's some CSGO timing for you. All those frags. DGT remains on the scout. Indeed, winning the pistol as a CT side, then losing the second round, force buying and losing, etc. is just a worst possible way to start a half, if you ask me. Loss bonus is in the gutter with the sewage, with crisp packets, with the remnants of a sausage roll from Greg's.
Sausage roll. Not if it's a leftover one in the bins, but...
What about a Swiss roll? Ever had a Swiss roll?
Swiss roll.
A Swiss roll with jam. It's
Google
like a
a
cake.
Swiss roll.
Oh, a Swiss roll.
Oh, yeah.
I used to smash those as a teenager. Swiss roll and fig rolls.
Oh, I used to have fig rolls too. Don't mind a fig roll. I haven't had them in years though.
Fig rolls never got their flowers, man. They're underrated.
Yeah, I rate them. Yeah, this does suck for 90 though, as you were saying. Might have to get their lunch at Greg's with the money they've got right now. It is not great. Scrounging for pennies. Oh, then Imperial off to a good start. On T side, Anubis. And that is always important. Anubis, the only real heavily T-sided map we have in the pool right now. A lot of pros aren't sure how they feel about that. You know, they've got to make the most of it. And Imperial doing that right now. Big clean up for Phelps. That money. Get the Glock out. Why the hell not? You know how easy this round is. And they only lose the MAC-10, so that is exactly what they wanted, really.
All right, 9Z need to get things going immediately because it just doesn't feel good, especially after Nuke. Sure, there was a comeback of sorts towards the end, but perhaps it was too late already. This has been a very, very bad start indeed, but every team's experienced a bad start before, be it the first map or the second. I don't expect them to be too distracted by it. Look at this push from 9Z. Is Jota aware of it? Certainly is now. That is lightning fast aggression from 9Z. Making statements early in the first buy round. Falling back as well. Max continues to peek, eat some damage from that grenade. Not shy though at the beginning of this one. No one covering mid for the time being for 9Z. Keep an eye on that on the radar. No one covering it at all. Seems they might be posturing for some aggression around the A-bomb site. So they're being very active here, 9Z. Trying to take the game away from Imperial, or at least ruin their timing.
Phelps ran into the molly for a second there. I'm not sure if he was trying to get good timing as the molly faded. Either way, it didn't go quite according to plan. There's that CT aggression, at least in towards A main. Go any further. Anubis definitely a map where a lot of teams feel like you have to run CT aggression because it is T-sided. You've got to take some risks. Speaking of risks, Vinny is looking to lurk out here, and it works for him. Max didn't spot him on the edge of that smoke. Now this B site looks very vulnerable.
Bolts has got DGT in the corner. They need to find them though. They're starting to lose players here. 20 seconds, still in the wrong side of the choke points. DGT is still killing time. And rotation is on the way. Buddha's on the way. Try delivers 10 seconds to plant that bomb, and Imperial are just getting absolutely melted. DGT trolling them all that time, staying alive, stopping their movement forward, Imperial. And they get riddled with bullets. It's the kind of round 9Z needed. Aggression at the beginning. Very fast peaks. This is crazy though.
Big recovery round from Try as well with this M4. I was wondering how long it would be until he gets an AWP back in his hands, but he gets a quad kill to make sure he steals his own AWP straight back. And I think that was a molly miss there onto the B site, which was a bit of an issue for Imperial. Either way, this pace is good. Max misses his jump, and he's a sitting duck for Vinny.
So much nonsense around these smokes. Now things will change in that regard. There's something weird with the ones in CS2 where if you drop them higher, they tend to go further lower than they otherwise might.
This is a big gamble stack from 9Z, and I think it might work. Bob's actually undecided right now. I thought they were going to split A. If they split B, this could get very funky very quickly.
Phelps' position will be quite important just around the corner from Davids. Phelps is lurking in the meantime, though. Does he have a poke in towards the A bomb site? They're losing players now. It's starting to work for 9Z. The read is a good one. I know Phelps is rotating to his team. But now they're wondering about what they can do towards that A bomb site, but David's already taken position there. This is working wonders for 9Z. The incendiary to buy time as DGT starts to rotate as well. 20 seconds, and now things become desperate for Imperial. Slowly creeping towards the site. Phelps may make this doable. Immediately popping David, creating space for the bomb to get planted. It's turning around again, 3-on-2. What a back and forth. DGT waiting for Buddha to rotate in, making some noise, trying to run distraction. A rare miss from Henny, and he's in the red. But is there anything left for Buddha to do? 1 versus 3 as DGT is dropped. Pretty fun round from 9Z, but not given the reward they were looking for.
Yeah, fantastic lurk out from Phelps there. Even though he was initially wanting to stick with the plan and group back up to his teammates, I think it was clear that they must have communicated that that B site looked very well defended. There were already a couple of players spotted and an AWP. They say, let's just go back to A. And you see David is completely exposed there on the site. Phelps just takes a risk of going out dry, and it was the right risk. They saw that AWP on the other side of the map. So it works out for Imperial in the end, and that's despite them losing that first fight. Lost Bolts, who was trying to lurk out mid. Looked like they lost so much map control, but they get Phelps into the site. They get Jota up through mid. He has big impact at the same time. 9Z, it's another round where you feel like they could have won it, but they don't. They can't break through. Now they have to save because of it. Oh, not even get the flash right.
Oh, that was a swing for Buddha. He swings anyway. He believes in himself with that AK-47, and nobody is home. Hero rifle round for 9Z. So happy that another community map has made it into the map pool. That's so important.
Hell yeah.
Very necessary.
Bob's in a slightly awkward position. It should be fine. But that AK of Buddha's gone back to B. Look out okay here. Henny is holding this cross for the site, though, so Buddha's going to have to play passive. Otherwise, he is a dead man. Oh, and that's the shot from Henny. Now that that AK is dropped, I don't know what chances 9Z really have here. Then again, they have so little. Might be worth hanging around to try and get that AK, but they haven't. Left the site completely open. So Imperial will confirm their 5th. There is the question of, do Imperial want to hunt, or do they want to focus their own economy? If I were them, I might just focus on my own money. But Bolts has other ideas. Probably afford to lose 1 player if you're Imperial here. I'll be okay.
Always nice if you can make it oppressive. Imperial with momentum. See what the money looks like once this round is concluded for the likes of 9Z. Just shy of $5,000 per person. Satisfying frag. In an unsatisfying round. Nice to see the frame rate was improved in the water for the game to come. Back into CSGO territory. The M4A4s will be out once again. AK-47 in the hands of DGT. Imperial moving quickly once more, but how quickly are we talking? Are they going to send it straight into the bomb site? Navid's surely not expecting this. Somehow he's got 2 from it, though. Bolt's waiting for that rotation, catching DGT off guard. 3-on-3, still doable for 9Z despite these early losses. Buda, trigger, discipline. Lost his opportunity, though. He's smoked off the site.
3-on-3 for 9Z here to try and come back in. A bit of utility, they'll make the most of that. Only clears out one angle. Flash into the site. This is still a tricky angle to clear. Phelps is now taking damage. Try gets him out of there. But Bolts brings one back, and that time has ticked so far. Jota forced into the open and traded, but it doesn't matter. The time is just too far gone. Bolts is in too strong of a position. Just double check that that bomb is safe. It is Imperial to win yet another round. Continue their fine form here on Anubis.
Outside of the pistol rounds, after which 9Z have got reset, just that one round they managed to secure. It must feel bothersome for them at present. Again, there is plenty of play remaining in this half. We know they've got the tricks. We saw even that failed flashbang with the swing of the AK underneath. There is some detail to their game. Again, they didn't always get all the kills they needed in that game of Nuke. Another quick pop, but Max doesn't go too deep. Might have to find himself something if he did, and he'll find it anyway as Vinny looks to swing on him. Stuck in it ahead of that Molotov. And that fallback is heard by Phelps. He's got an opportunity to just walk into the bomb site here. He has a small window. There he go through this smoke, though. Indeed, he'll dissipate before he gets there. That's half the information. He knows there was a second. He's created some space for the team, and Bolts has made his way through mid at the same time. So they are pinching this bomb site very quickly indeed. That's a key frag for Bolts, and that might be the round right there.
Now that A site is very well patrolled right now for Imperial. Not allowing any visitors over towards A at the moment. And 9Z look like they're going to just abide by those rules. Which they can really do, being so far out from this side of the map. This looks quite comprehensive from Imperial. Feels like they are just in control of the majority of rounds. I feel like 9Z are bringing a couple of rounds close, but on the whole, Imperial always seem to have that slight edge. Glad we're seeing a better game from Henny here. Pretty mediocre on the first map. And again, he had 2 of his riflers carrying hard. So sometimes it's worth taking a back seat when that's happening. This has looked pretty good across the board from Imperial right now.
The wheels keep turning. Great presence from Phelps. Capitalized on the loss of his teammate in the best way. Filled the vacuum left by the rotating CTs. Timeout taken by those CTs as 9Z try to find their feet, try to stabilize. The boat is very rocky at present and it's taking on water real fast as well. We didn't really see them on Nuke. Imperial had their runs and the same is happening on Anubis, maybe even worse.
Look at all these Imperial players, all looking the same way. Is it time for a pace change? We saw them go for a few fast B rounds against Fnatic. They're just teasing me early, although they are now grouping back up. Some utility used towards mid, they'll move towards B. You have a pretty solid stack here, though. 3 CTs in position, ready to try to deny.
Fast one from Imperial. Great spread by Phelps. They'll take that trade. 4-on-2 for Imperial. How fast is this? That bit of long range so close. That really would have encouraged them. That would have spurred them on. They could have landed one more bullet. Had a fairly slow nuke, but this is a completely different story on this occasion from Imperial. And it's great to see a change of pace from them as well. Although we have seen some promptness from them in this game of Anubis already. Always nice to have those different gears, though. And again, 9Z are left wanting, very much wanting. Empty hands once more, hungry mouths, rumbling stomachs.
Love that pathing from Phelps. And you saw 9Z, that they just weren't really ready for him to emerge on that side. And you can have the other players stringing out from other angles, down from that lower connector, down from sewer. You see, with this smoke up, there's just that little gap on the far side. A good flash for him. Max was trying to watch down below, hoping his teammate had it covered. But once Buddha gets blind, it is 3 frags for Phelps. 2. This is so convincing for Imperial. They looked good yesterday, even in their loss. But this is just showing what they can do when they're up against regional competition, clearly. Maybe they should have been bigger favorites in this one. Oh, and now Vinny's getting in on the action.
Wow.
Stunning shots.
They are feeling this momentum. Up's creeping, showing some elbow, and Max has managed to defend the site. The rest of Imperial are quite spread out. Oh, Jota, he's facing the choke point, pulling grenades out. Almost cost him everything. Can't do that for free. Now Imperial have to find a way in again, but 9Z are being proactive also. Double peek comes through in mid, and the bomb has been lost. Henny racing forward with the Tech 9 and the AWP. Unbelievable response. Only Henny can make a play like that. That's utterly outrageous.
Just so cutthroat. Just not allowing anything. I'll just run at you with the Tech 9. I know what I'm doing. Don't question me. Now DGT has to play the guessing game. It's not a fun one. He doesn't really have any information to go off of here. Just going to have to try and get the right read. That's going to work wonderfully. The fake nades into A and the waltz into B.
1v2 though. Bomb's not planted just yet. DGT has gone to collect the defuse kits.
They hear him drop. They see him drop.
Plan. Oh, and he has raised the alarm. Jota can move in for the 2v1. Baited a shot at the very least, but this is really wasting some time. As he peeked before the flash goes off. Jota just needs to hide behind that pillar. Or do that. Either way, it's good. 9-2 for Imperial, but my word, Henny understands the mission with that urgency in the middle of the round. Oh no, we've lost the bomb. I guess I'll have to just kill everyone and take it back immediately. That's so clean from Vinny as well. Credit to Max for holding the fort down on the bomb site. But this from Henny's like, oh right, this is high urgency. Bang!
His own shoulder only went around the corner to get those 2 shots off. One of them's a headshot. He counter strafes back. Brilliant work there. And 9Z feeling the pain again. Down to a weakened by. I mean, this has felt maybe a little more competitive than the scoreline shows. Some of the rounds have been somewhat close, but Imperial always seem to have the slight edge. Again, they've got the early advantage here in this round.
We're looking at like a 12-3 half. Imperial don't have, they don't, well actually Bolts and Henny have bags of money, and that's enough for a team fight.
Oh.
Okay.
I was try done that. He was in a volley.
He could have a timing here. Henny delivers the kill though. Try's got more deagles to find. Won't happen. That feels like one of the closest chances they've had in this half. It's the Desert Eagle roaming around, delivering a few headshots. There has not been much in the name of hope in this half of Anubis for 9Z. We of little faith. Cosmetic damage only.
Yeah, they nearly dropped that bomb at the cross on mid, but then they realize, unfortunately, they're up against Henny, who has been getting important kills all map long. And he's not even AWPing right now. It's the AK that's doing a good bit of the heavy lifting for Henny. This feels like a pretty key round for 9Z. I think if they want to get at least a reasonable half, they've got to win this one. Obviously, with the money Imperial have, gonna have to win a couple of gun rounds here at the end of the half. Control looks good. Forces the utility out from Max. C9Z having to adjust. They've still got that aggressive positioning in a main. At the same time, they will be a little concerned about these site splits now.
Imperial should really find a way to squeeze all these final rounds out. Great achievement for them. Great for the confidence. They just seem better prepared, to be honest. Love to see them picking up the newer map. Right then, is there a flash for this angle? Henny baiting the shot as Vinny delivers. For a second, I thought Henny did, and I was like, what is the science behind that? That doesn't make any sense. But it's Vinny, of course. Bomb site taken, then bomb has been planted. 9Z risk losing everything if they go for this, and they risk losing everything if they don't with how to score it. Vinny delivering once again, and it will be the expensive way. The wallets are out, and the money is taken. Helpless. A helpless half for 9Z.
Out to Vinny. Keeping his teammates safe. Can't allow these 9Z players into the A bomb site. It's prime real estate. Just hoping to save. A lot of different angles back here out in the open. Not always easy to clear, but Max is cleared out in the end. Nothing saved, nothing really doing for 9Z right now. In control, helping on this A-sided play. And they're able to close the distance on try, get into a good position. Vinny with that double, just locking it down.
Oh boy, that body language, man. Have a look at this. This is...
Just every player you look at gets worse.
Yeah, this is Doom. This is Doom, the body language. Feels like it may be lost already. Perhaps
Appreciate
they were...
the coach, yeah, clearly realizing that, trying to get them back into it.
Yeah, but I do wonder if they're simply outmaneuvered by the map veto here. It just doesn't feel like they're ready to play a team like Imperial on Anubis from what we're seeing. Then again, I think series-wide, we haven't really seen them show themselves. We haven't seen that 9Z personality. It hasn't been allowed to shine. They've simply been victims.
Oh boy. Big damage. Good nades there to force DGT away. Is Bolts going to do this? Well, he is. It's not going to work though. Thought we might at least see a flash for him, but just felt like he had the right timing, which was not the case. Surprised he made that play, considering they just forced the CTs out. What is that shot? DGT getting involved with the FAMAS. Maybe something for 9Z to get excited about in this round.
Imperial getting frags is still a win in this round. 3 of the 5 players on 9Z have $0. They have nothing in their pockets but knives and lint. And that could have a part to play in the last round if they can get enough kills here. Should they lose this round, Imperial? Always edges to be found in situations such as these. They also have a 3v2 situation wherever they choose to push. Oh, the timing! Surely not! David somehow gets 2 out of this. Credit to him. Oh, why is the Orpa pulling out grenades like that? You have to wonder when they have the setup. Oh, that's a rough one. But I think that second FAMAS kill puts things in 9Z's favor. No defuse kits, though. Still creeping into the bomb site. They've got a smoke. Desperate times, desperate measures. Touching the bomb. No one's on the bomb, though. Going for it again as Dubs finds the cover. Is there time to defuse this bomb? No, it's going to be close. Oh, they've got it.
Just about.
Jeez. Oh, it's a scout, not an AWP. I'm stupid.
Oh, well, they needed this. They needed a round, man. Like, especially getting a 5-on-3 early. This shot. Oi. Okay, I was wondering how DGT did that. Oh, Phelps is going to bring it back for a second, but Davidus just about gets that second kill. And as you said, that made a huge difference. I thought Phelps might still be the bane of their existence, as he has been so many times. This time, the smoke makes it a little awkward. And that's just a wide swing from Max against the AWP. Big risk taken. It's just a 1-for-1 trade on mid.
Bold plays in that mid position as they look for more. These late rounds are so urgent for 9Z. Makes me think back to that smoke walkthrough by Bolts we saw earlier on. Maybe taking increased risk because of the score. This could just open the door a little more to 9Z. Who knows what's to come from their T side? They only take 2 rounds into halftime, then not much maybe. And now they've got a chance for 4. They've got a good chance.
Come the nades. Smoke looks good to deny DGT's angle. Shit from Max, he gets dealt with. Do Imperial still commit to A, or do they come back to B? They're storming this site, but Buddha's still here. He's got one. Gotta does get that trade, but the bomb's still going A, and 9Z are taking the bait.
They're splitting. DGT staying in position. But much position has been lost by these creeping Imperial players. Vinny with the AWP misses a shot. 19 seconds to get his bomb planted. Now that could be everything. It's going to be so awkward for Vinny. And the HE will make it even worse. Somehow avoids that, but that bomb has been thwarted. That bomb plant again. Jota coming in to hold an angle. Oh, he saw Vinny's head. He had an angle for him. He allowed him to plant that bomb. Now Vinny's gone. And so is Jota. It will be 4 rounds at halftime for 9Z. It could have been 2. Imperial have opened a door somewhat to allow them to double their score to 4, but will it be enough for them? An oppressive half. Nothing going their way. But what will the T side bring?
Give me my props, thinking we gon' stop. All I I got is love for those that's riding with me. All these models vibing with me. Say so, please don't max the case low. Rolling that dice, 7 would be nice. Text coming in, love to see, love to me. See to see, easily. Job flows that got goals, please spread the word. We're kicking haters to the curb. Catching up, all the intrigue. Doing it major league, yeah. Just want you to vibe with me. Touch the sky, come fly with me. Be real, don't lie to me. We're just gonna break bringing it back. No, bringing it back. No, you know. Sun is shining in the afternoon light. Light a fire, get away for the night. Let's sit round the
From 2 rounds to 4, it really could be the difference maker. Of course, the pistol will be crucial, but I'm very interested to see what they can do with that little extra space they made for themselves, or will they be shut down again by Imperial? Big pistol rounds. Maybe these ones are easier to let slip past with the lead you have, but this is the time to crush. This is the time to show zero mercy. This is the time to grab the bag. 11-4. Julie's out for bolts. Raid boss. Penny gifting him the pistols. I'm double eco on pistol. I want AWP immediately.
Right, yeah. Hey, we saw Try get that AWP out in the second round in the first half. Didn't work for him. Instantly lost it. We shall see if that is possible again. Try dueling at range. P250 looking for the long range headshot. It's not been able to deliver, but at least denies any further peaks from Imperial in that position. Happy to play with the clock. They will now move back to mid, where there are 2 CTs waiting. Annoying angle to clear here. Henny, think about moving back. He'll stay forward in the same position. Ahead of that smoke, but he finally ducks back. Seeing a response right now from Imperial. They're rotating away from B, but 9Z might be bringing that bomb to this B site, and it's wide open.
Now we're starting to see the tricks, the shenanigans from 9Z. You really have to wonder if those 2 extra rounds towards the end will be all the difference for them. I am so curious. More work to be done though. Buddha surviving bolts. Then there were 3 Imperial moving forward with a kit. Really low numbers for a pistol round, 3v5. Surely makes their chances a little brutally low. Look at these crossfires for 9Z as well, inviting them to come and lose their Kevlar and kit. Imperial trying to disengage, but only Phelps will make it. Perhaps without the kit. 9Z selling a fake on the pistol round successfully as well.
Imperial bought it hook, line, and sinker. I think it's just that mid control that made Imperial really worried. Surprised they left everyone outside at that B site, but in the pistol, you feel like you just got to go with your gut instinct. You've got to go with your hunch. Otherwise, if you leave one player on the site, what's he really going to do? He's probably not going to get... You can't get a big spray down, right, in a pistol. You have to do a lot of work to get multiple kills on a solo hold. It's not easy to do. I understand why they took the risk. They went with their read, but it was wrong. Don't have the force buy out from Imperial, though. So you've got to make sure they don't get reset straight away. Oh, no, it could be happening again. They won that first pistol in this map, and they were reset. They have brought this kill back, though, and this B site is open, so it's looking good on this rotate back. See if Pulse can do anything at range.
Oh!
He's got one. Will be traded, but still a 3-on-3 here. This is open.
If they lose this round, it's over. If they lose this round, that's the wrap. I think mentally, they'll be mentally disfigured by a loss in this round. Dots maybe waiting for some sounds elsewhere, some fire to cover his drop. He try and sneak through the corner of the smoke, maybe. He needs some fire for Phelps to get activated. Has he been heard? Nope, still standing then. 9Z will prove victorious in this round. They'll move to 6, and it's game on. It is game on. I think that pistol play was quite telling for 9Z. I think it might be night and day between their CT side and what they have to offer as the aggressors. They can set the pace now. Leaning out the money for Imperial fully.
And I can see a little bit of belief there in the player camps. Flick of flash at the start of the round, but Jota going down just opens the window, opens the door for them to step into this bomb site. And Phelps unable to get involved because he didn't want to drop down, so that means the players on the site had to at least do something, had to at least cause a little bit of chaos, which just never came. Well then. Is there some fight left in 9Z? Didn't think so in that first half. They picked up just a couple of rounds. They've got off to a good start on their T side. Who knows if they keep Imperial's economy weak? We saw them attempt that comeback over on Nuke. They started getting back into it on their CT side. Max goes hunting, but that's good info. That A site should be taken now by 9Z.
What do Imperial choose to do? They try to contain 9Z. Steal some rifles away. Score has become pretty close, pretty quick. And he's going to be key, I feel like, in the CT side for Imperial. If they are to build some rounds, that AWP, that aggression, that signature heli style will be necessary to survive the CT side. Lindsay looking comfortable already. Again, that body language we saw on the cams in the first half will feel like it was oh so long ago, different time entirely.
Really any exit kills for Imperial. Not significant damage anyway. Bit of a shame. Been nice for them to try and do something, maybe steal away a gun, as you were saying. Well, right, 9Z showing just that bit of belief now. Imperial try and snatch it away from them here because now they've got the rifles. No kit on the entire Imperial team, though. Worth noting, if that bomb does indeed go down in this round. The aggression out from Imperial early. Had a molly in position there, so they could look for that duel. No one spotted at the start of the round, though. 9Z seem pretty happy playing patient here. And based on the pistol, I wonder if that's going to be their approach for the majority of their T rounds. Trying to pull rotations and make it difficult for Imperial to read them.
Imperial holding on to their util for now. P90 creating space towards A. With minute 10, they'll want to invite the CT utility sooner rather than later. There will be some in response. Let's not forget those faster rounds we saw from Imperial in the first half. 90 may be capable of similar. Very forward lurk smoke. No response behind it though by Imperial, but 90 are looking dangerous. Max doesn't give the turn Q away around that Molotov, but it breaks the push. Still, David will find an opening frag. EGT is here to trade as well. Jota holding down the water in the meantime, but the bomb will make its way into the bomb site. And that rotation won't come fast enough. Bomb planted, 3 on 2, but as tries to escape, he won't. DGT with 20 HP. What does he choose to do? Does he even defend this bomb site? Does he hold on to his AK-47? 1v3 with 20 HP. Rather you than me, buddy. And indeed, he knows this round's already lost.
Should see Imperial stick that bomb now, really. They've got the smoke up. They've got players defending, even without their kit. There's going to be light work here for Imperial as they eventually pick up their 12th round. And I really think Jota deserves all the credit for that round win. The way he locked down his position. You see these initial trades fairly even. That was the spam through that David got, but traded. And Phelps traded back, but then this was the swing coming in from Jota. A really rapid transfer to get that double kill. Keeps control. It denies one side of the split. Makes it really hard for 90 to close out the round. Still a buy for 90, still opportunities, but Imperial showing us what they're capable of. And look at this early A play for Imperial. They are sending it.
They really are. Can 90 respond to this with the positions they have? Vinny and Phelps pushing through A. We could be in some trouble. Look at this position from Vinny. Very strong indeed, just about surviving the long-range spray from Buddha. That could be the difference maker now as the handoff 90 is forced by Imperial, coming to life once again now in this second half. 3 on 2, doable by either squad. That bomb is almost surrounded though, in the hands of Tri, hiding in plain sight, perhaps waiting for DGT to make a play. On the rotation now. What is their read of the A bomb site? He passes DGT. Things are getting very, very strange indeed.
Tri is so concerned with this bomb. I think he may be safe crossing over to his teammate. He wants to get active, wants to make sure he's here to help his teammate deliver the bomb safely. How much further does he go, though? Because Vinny's coming back. The timing is everything. DGT should have this. Now Phelps has to help his team, and he does. He delivers an important frag. Now Tri might have a tricky time getting this bomb down. 8 seconds. He feels like he has to commit. He does get it planted, and with an AWP here in the 1-on-2, this could still be good for him. He drops a smoke as bait. Something Imperial have to be concerned. He could be playing around, but instead he goes aggressive. He's got to predict that Henny position. Henny has come towards the bomb. This is awkward now for Tri. Sat on the other side of the smoke. He's not forcing it. He's playing the waiting game. Glock in hand. He's trying to buy time, and that bomb is ticking. Henny wants this kill, but he just can't find the fight, and it's Tri who gets him with the Glock.
Oh, I can't believe it. What a clutch. How nervous must that be? The Glock with an AWP on your back and delivering the goods versus the AWP from the other side. That is a nervous round that they deliver in. Down to the wire, 1v2, great movements with the AWP. Tri delivers when he needs to. What breaks the money of Imperial as well. Very important rounds. They could not fail on that one. With this push from Imperial, it looked quite bad as well. In the 3v2 situation, anything could happen. And Tri in the clutch, down to the Glock versus the M4. Ring around the rosy with Henny. big impact round. They can build on this.
Yeah, especially with the bad buy from Imperial in this one. Really, I love that play from Try. I think he realized that it's so unlikely the player sticks the defuse when he's going to have his back likely turned to one of the two angles. It just feels so uncomfortable to do that. So good patience coming in from Try. Now 9Z have just got to make sure don't make any mistakes in this round, because there are still weapons for Imperial, even if the majority of them are weaker. Bomb's been left behind here, but there is a bit of a commitment into this B-bomb site. Nades being used. Avid's got the initial entry. These smokes look good for them to get control of the bomb site.
Leaving nothing to chance. And he was ready with his pistol. Passing all the tests so far. Vinny need not lose his rifle. 9Z continuing to build, but at the same time, Imperial have shown that they are capable of winning some rounds. Even the one they lost where they had that push through the A-bomb site. Showed some potential. So I think we're in for an interesting second half here. The first one was quite underwhelming. But I think Imperial CT side has got some more bite to it than what we saw from 9Z. That said, 9Z are catching up quickly. The body language is good. I really feel like Max could just bring his monitor forward and be in a much more comfortable position.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like we're seeing a lot of pros start to realize that. Bring the monitor forward rather than lean in.
It's like he's using his weight to keep the table in place.
Yeah. Hey, you never know. Maybe that's his setup at home. We don't know. We don't know. Maybe his table's on wheels.
Many of us have had bizarre setups at home back in the day. I played on a bureau with a fold-down surface. So it lacked depth because there was obviously the gap where the table folded. Which is why my mouse style is the worst possible one. Wrist off the end of the table, very inconsistent.
I've seen some kitchen setups before, which is always wild on the countertops. Sure, that can't be ideal. Here comes Try. Shot early. He does have to be a little careful. He puts down a defensive smoke. Imperial not responding, though. I think Vinny is still just confident enough. This A site, he has just enough info. Do want to turn their attention his way. Has assistance from Bolts nearby, but no more utility to slow this down. It's got to be Bolts to help Vinny here.
And Bolts may be compromised soon if the grenades come his way. He'll have to decide if he wants to defend the bomb site or defend mid. Vinny left in the open and Bolts went for the mid plate. So the bomb site's been lost completely. 3 of the 4 players remaining on that B bomb site for Imperial. I don't think they're going to go for this one. Vinny, the sacrificial lamb, the double pump from 9Z was enough to secure the rounds as Imperial focus on their economy.
Well then, simple play from 9Z. They find the weaker bomb site. And yeah, they did really well to force that smoke out of Vinny early. And once they forced it out of him, they realized they've got a good chance at actually getting him out of the bomb site early. And then if they can get that early kill, even if there is a player to assist, even if Bolts was committed with him on the site, I think it would have been very hard there for them to actually lock it down. Avid trying to hunt at the end. EGT will get one of the CTs out of there, but should still be money for Imperial to buy. Either way, this is the first timeout for Imperial. That's wild, because this comeback has been monstrous from 9Z. Imperial have only won a single CT round so far. 9Z have got 6 on the T side, so really a much-needed timeout. And again, body language on Phelps, not ideal. Got to stay in this mentally. This game is still very much there for them. Fist bumps going. Henny looked like he was trying to loosen up. got to remember, 9Z themselves had very bad body language in the first half, and they were able to turn it round. So important to do that at this level. The teams really focus on it. Counter-Strike is a mental game massively. Double AWPs now out for Imperial. Could that be the change they needed?
Dejection was the body language for 9Z in that first half. Hasn't been that bad for Imperial. Outside the server, at least. They have been closer on some rounds, I feel like. Still posting L's, though. But he's scoped in early so as not to reveal the plan. The ploy. Imperial have held on to a lot of their utility at this point. Maybe having 2 people on scopes will help in that regard. Allows them to try to ruin the timing here for 9Z. He will show some presence in mid. Bolts will have an angle on that. But again, if there were to be an execute towards A, which seems unlikely for the time being, then he may have a tough decision to make. Who's going to go and pick up this bomb, though? Just still over towards the A bomb site. Looks like it will be Try, heading towards the 40-second mark. Phelps towards B will still have a smoke. Henny towards A will still have a smoke. So we're really going to go down to the wire on this one. They start to regroup again towards that A bomb site. You can see Henny going back and forth, deciding what he wants to do. Vinny will deliver, create some space for himself. But again, Bolts is still having to hold down that mid position. Does he go to help his teammate? Looks like he might do, but does Vinny need the help? Bolts holds down mid at the same time. Back and forth he goes. Hard task for Bolts, but he's delivering here. 5-on-2, Try in no man's land. At this point, may just have to try and save AWP. How likely will that be, though? Dangerous game behind that pillar.
Yeah, you just got to wonder, were 9Z trying to get a little too intricate there because they left the clock really late and they didn't really pressure elsewhere. I will say, massive shout out to Vinny. I think the switch up onto the AWP was such a great idea. In the previous round, they were able to contact out and deal with Vinny. This time, having the AWP means that he can just deny those early players from really getting the ground straight away. As you pointed out, Imperial holding the nade certainly helped as well. Is this a pacier round from 9Z, though? Looked like it wanted to be, but that molly has done big damage and it slowed them significantly.
Very important timing for Imperial. 9Z perhaps responding to the existence of that second AWP with a very fast play or attempt towards that B bomb site. Just the one, no, 2 smokes. There are 2 smokes for Imperial, along with some incendiaries. They are not in the worst position, although Bolts is further away from that A bomb site on this occasion. Vinny playing in a forward position, where he can fall back and maybe go again.
3 rounds in a row, this A play looking likely. Some fake nades towards mid to try and keep Bolts' attention here.
But it seems they've got a good chance of isolating Vinny. Again, Bolts is having to decide whether to help defend or hold that mid position. But Vinny, his reset is very effective. And now he's got that angle with Bolts for support. Still looking for their entry frag, 9Z, as they creep around this bomb site. And it's going to prove very expensive for them. Trying to abuse the numbers, but Vinny put himself in a more aggressive position. Where he could drop one, fall back, post up again, drop another, fall back, post up again. Even double peek on the 3rd attempt with Bolts. Slight adjustment working very effectively for Imperial. And these are big rounds they are winning right now.
Eddie there had a big smile on his face. I think Imperial are a lot more relaxed now. As they get a 14th round. Find themselves 2 away from winning this series. Yeah, that flash just didn't blind him. Maybe not flashing for this specific angle, but I love the switch up from Vinny. Playing on that position as you tuck back in, it makes it easier for Bolts to come over and help you on that angle, rather than when you're playing on the smoke and or playing on the site and you've got the deeper angle. Instead, you fall back and you hold a similar angle to Bolts, who rotates in from mid. It really helps them work together nicely there. Vinny, the rock for the team, stepping up in the last couple of rounds. Imperial may well have him to thank if they take this map and series over the line. A warp this time for Vinny. Just Henny with a sniper in this one. That means Vinny is actually doubling up on mid, leaving A wide open. He thinks he's been doing so well on A that he's certain they're not going to come there anymore.
The hubris. Reading 9Z to a T. Wonderful stuff. Looking for that second kill. 4v3 for Imperial. Bolts continues to be a problem. They've tried to put him into very difficult situations, and they have, but he has delivered. Now Henny emerges at the right time for Imperial, but a devastating time for 9Z. Their money is in the bin. They're heading towards being against game point with no cash. They'll be fighting with frying pans like it's TF2.
They can't go invisible, though. They can't sneak behind. No special abilities in Counter-Strike. Max would have needed a special ability to do anything in this 1-on-4. Knows that it's not possible. And Vinny makes that initial move on mid. Max has to be careful here. Okay, he is. He should be fine now. He will retreat back to the safety of spawn, back to the bins. No one's going to search the bin bags. So he will at least save his gun. But again, Vinny just really ahead of 9Z right now. Switches up to mid, catches the first man off guard. Bolt's able to trade to get them into a good position. Then a little bit of Henny magic, cleaning up a couple of fairly easy shots by his standards. It is Imperial on series point. 9Z's buy isn't even all that.
Freedom of a Tech 9, though, can produce poisonous effects to your opponent. Bolts deeper in mids. Henny over towards the A-bomb site with that 1 AWP. Change in formation for Imperial. That bomb seems focused towards B, though. DGT dropped in that mid position. Dobbs looks like he wants to do something aggressive on B later on. Very close angle for him. An early 4v5. 2 rifles, 2 pistols for 9Z. No great options for them as Bolts fades away from that mid position. 9Z will be looking for a peek that will never come. Have it just walking through the smoke brazenly as that boost is there. I respect it. Gives them a few crucial seconds. Bolts takes a very passive angle. Worse than that, he's actually rotated over towards the B-bomb site. So the wrap towards A is open. However, Henny's trained on this position. They've left this open, but the bouncing into the bomb site will be a problem. They can close in on Henny's angle now. He's lost all the good angles. He's eating the flashes as well. But Vinny will deliver, dropping that bomb carrier, and Henny is still standing. His sheer presence is a problem. Buying time for the team. The quick scope as well leaves Max with nowhere to go. 1v4, 20 seconds to plant this bomb, and Henny still stands at 15 HP. Beautiful work from him. Imperial secure the last round and the series 16-10.
Imperial pick up their first win here at Pro League. They couldn't quite get it over the line against Fnatic, but they looked good here in this regional matchup against 9Z. Again, we're seeing performances out of Phelps. We're seeing Henny on this map land some great shots. They looked in control on this one. Anubis looking like a good map for them going forwards. So 9Z, they get sent down to that lower bracket. There are still chances for them. It is a long, long road back to 9Z on that lower bracket.
Not 9Z's day today. I think that much was clear. Very rough nuke for them. Very rough first half on Anubis. Again, I think those extra 2 rounds towards the end gave them a chance, but that was snuffed out by Imperial as well. Nice to see Imperial win a game, though. I think they were unfortunate in some of those rounds. I think both they and Fnatic were unfortunate in some of those rounds yesterday. Of course, Fnatic did enough to get the win there, but on another day that could have been Imperial. So I think with how much they fought for that, it's nice to see them at least get a win today. Who knows how far they can go? But I'm very curious to find out how hard they've been working in the background. We'll have the interview ready for you shortly. Very curious to see what has been happening behind the scenes and where this Anubis has come from and all sorts.
Yeah, and also got to give a shout out to Vinny at the end there. His switch up onto the AWP, that was great. And even just his overall game here was fantastic. He had 8 opening kills. He had a bunch of multi-kills. I think Vinny is a really good player for Imperial to have, to provide a bit of stability to this team, because you have maybe players like Phelps and Bolts who can be a little more inconsistent. Sometimes they can be very good. Sometimes they can struggle slightly. And Vinny is one of those stable pieces of the car that you know you can rely on. Is always going to make sure he delivers. And those switch-ups at the end definitely felt like the difference here. I think Imperial should be thanking Vinny for the way he brought them over the line in those last few rounds.
Yeah, absolutely. Vinny with some really crucial clutches. And it's great to see that Imperial have a number of different people who can step up. They're not reliant on that one person. Yesterday, Phelps was doing great things for the team. He's really keeping the glue that kept the team together on Anubis, especially stopping the plays from the CTs. This time we see Vinny today. Of course, Henny, don't even need to say much about him that we haven't said already. Great start with the AWP and heavy output as well. We saw the urgency actually when they lost the bomb in mid in that game. And he trade fragged his teammate, then understood the urgency with the Tech-9 to deliver the goods figuratively and literally. So yeah, I think this the makeup of this Imperial team seems to be quite nice for the squad.
Yeah, and as for 9Z, I mean, listen, against FaZe, they nearly had them on nuke. It shows that they've got the promise, and they do have some solid players. I mean, we saw throughout this, I think when DGT was getting kills, they were oftentimes impact, and they were really good to watch. They looked really crisp. I think Max actually had quite a few good moments. He's not normally a big fragger on this team, but he was playing well. So, listen, there are some positive signs for 9Z. I think at least seeing a few of their players show up was nice. Yeah, it's always very hard. It's very rare when a team goes down to that lower bracket, they're able to make it all the way back through. 9Z would at least want a win or two, I think, out of this group, and there will still be possibilities.
Yeah, but they're certainly running out, so they need to start delivering very soon. We'll see, get an update on the bracket later and see who they'll be playing next. We will have an interview very shortly. I think you said nearly ready, so almost. Oh, it is ready. Okay, all right.
He said Vinny's ready.
Okay, let's go and speak to Vinny then about their action. Hello.
Hello.
So we've got a lot of questions for you, starting from yesterday. Actually, starting from last week. Like we saw MIBR come through last week, and we could see quite clearly that they had been working really hard in that background. They've made a ton of effort, and I think coming into this week, for me, I wanted to see if this similar was true for you guys. If we could see, based on what you were doing on the server, what how hard you guys have been working in the background. We saw a Anubis from you, which Fnatic was saying they didn't have much information. I feel like you guys were unlucky not to win yesterday. I think you or Fnatic could have easily won that. I think there was more than one chance for both squads as well. So what have the past weeks and months been like for you guys? What have you been working on, and how do you feel about your Anubis at the moment?
Since Cologne, I think we just managed to. I mean, I think we had like 30-40 days to set up everything, because we're now new team, so we're just setting up like how do you want to approach the maps, and we managed to have a good time in Brazil. Actually, like practice was decent. Just doing like the basics to have everything ready to bootcamp here. So I think we had like 11-12 days before Pro League, just already in Malta, practicing against the other teams, testing new stuff. I think we're doing okay. We're like playing a lot of CS. We're practicing like five maps average, and after that we're streaming Brazil, playing a lot of bugs. So I think we're just in a good level. Everyone is feeling really good individually. And about Anubis, I mean, Fnatic didn't have a clue because it was our first one before. So I think we managed to understand the map, and I mean, it's working out.
Awesome.
Nice. Yeah, actually, following up on the practice question, You said that Brazil was pretty good for practice. So, like, I don't know if you guys can practice NA teams or not, but, like, I assume the ping might be too much. But, like, is Brazil better for practice right now than NA? It kind of feels like it might be. There's a lot of good Brazilian teams.
No, definitely. I was talking with the M80 guys. Like, I would say we have at least 25, 30 teams that are pretty much decent that we can practice against. Like, NA, they have like 3, 4, so it's pretty much none. What I can say, I don't know. CSGO is a weird stage right now that practice feels the same in Brazil or even in Europe, just because like people are doing random shit. They're just overpink every time, so you're not getting quality. Pretty much not even Europe. Like sometimes we get like some tier 2, even tier 1 teams that are just doing stuff they want to kill you and they will keep killing you. So you cannot test it as X, or if you know your default's working out. I think it's more about we're just trying to approach like let's trying focusing doing specific things to get better in that thing, and I mean just see how the progress goes.
I know we were talking to Stiko yesterday. He said something similar, so maybe you should, talk to him, get some practice going. Maybe you guys are on the same page. But also wanted to ask about Anubis.
No, people are just like,
yeah.
Go.
I get you. I wanted to ask about Anubis because when 9Z started coming back, you picked up that AWP at one point. I wanted to know who made that decision and why was that decision made?
Myself, we lost a round before the AWP, I think, because we were 3 guys stacking B, and they all picking on me on A, and none of the team like did any kind of rotation. So I was just like, guys, I'll play on an AWP here. You guys can keep doing your stuff. If they're showing some presence in the map, then we can play and understand what they're doing. So let's not gamble for no reason.
Awesome.
So what were your goals coming into Pro League? For where the team is at the moment, is the goal to make it to playoffs, or like is it about trying to introduce new strategies and tactics, or finding comfort with the team at the moment, with the teams that are here, or what's the goal for you guys coming into this?
I mean, the simple answer is just going to the playoffs, but I would say we had yesterday match for us, we kind of threw because all the situations on Nuke against Fnatic was us to win. We just pretty much left every 3v1, 2v1, whatever one. So that was a little bit upset because we knew that we were playing better and we just gave up the map. But I would say, first of all, eliminating some teams. We don't want to be in the last place, so I think that's a pretty good goal. And just try to sweep this lower bracket.
All right, well, good luck in the rest of your games. It was an unlucky result, I think, against Fnatic. Some, as you mentioned, some difficult losses in a few of those rounds, some crazy plays from Afro especially. But a good win today, certainly, and good luck in the rest of the bracket.
On overpass. Oh, man, that hurts.
Yeah, absolutely brutal. Well, it's all history now. Can't change it, but got plenty of space to write some new pages in the future. So good luck in the rest of the bracket.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you to Imperial. And again, I'm glad. He said it himself, like how frustrating some of those rounds were, be it the clutches from Afro or mistakes they made on Nuke. There were some really rough losses in some of those rounds. So I think it was probably needed for their mentor to come out with a W today. And I think it was a reasonably comfortable one. Let's have a look at the bracket and see what these wins and losses mean for Group C. This is how it began, and it has quickly progressed to a position where Na'Vi have made their way to the playoffs. FaZe Clan and Fnatic currently 1-1 to see who will join them immediately. Moving over to the mid-bracket then, there will be quite a few teams populating this as well. Apex will be facing Imperial. That's Imperial's next challenge, having defeated 9Z and sending them to the lower bracket. Cyclone will await their fate as the match continues in the upper bracket for the time being.
That's a good matchup, Apex versus Imperial. I'm excited about that one. And then the lower bracket, we have 9Z going up against M80. I heard Vinny just then discussing that he was talking with the M80 guys, saying it was maybe harder to get practice in NA compared to South America. We'll see if that shines through in that game and if 9Z can finally get their first win on the board.
Absolutely. Maybe it's worth the NA teams trying to play SA teams in and see if they can get any better practice. But anyway, that brings our broadcast to a close for now. Go to Stream A and watch the conclusion of their match. We'll have plenty more Counter-Strike for you throughout the rest of this week as well. So sayonara, we'll see you next week. Enjoy Stream A. Thanks for tuning in.
It's time for the DHL Drop. Every week, CSGO talent go head-to-head to beat the buzzer. You can join them by typing !DHL Drop in the chat. Answer the questions correctly to get added to the global leaderboard. The higher you climb, the closer to earning a prize you are.
I miss it. Those days when nothing ever really mattered. So willing to give it all, even though you might just shatter. Now you're scared of time. Gotta beat the clock now. It's all up to pride. Cut my brain, struck out when you had about 30 chances. One bad day, now you don't know how to pay for the damage. I don't wanna cry. If I'm gonna fall back, it's a waste of time.
Dopeness. Dopeness. Fire. My name sound like nails on a chalkboard. Hit you harder than the darts on a dartboard. Damn it, man, I'm creepy like Candyman in a pair of hammer pants with a hammer in his hand. Say what you want, say what you wish, but say my name and it sound like you breaking a dish. Say my name in a whisper like you making a wish. You said